Hello and welcome to PKSP for the game day 2. It's the second day of the TK Corporate Tournament 2024 season 10 it is, and we have the first game of the day in between on-field sports management and heritage cricketers. So we have two captains from here. It is from on-field Tipu Sultan Mahmud and from heritage Ziaul Alam Rani with our umpire Din Islam and the match referee Tipu. So toss time now. Who has got the talk? Cohen. So here's the roll and the first call from the heritage. So Ziaul Alam Rani টসে জিতেছেন কি সিদ্ধান্ত নিচ্ছেন?
আমরা প্রথম বোলিং করব।
What's the decision behind it?
না, ইটস জাস্ট আ নিউ সিজন। আমাদের ওইটাই চিন্তা যে প্রথম সিজন আমরা উইকেটের ব্যাপারে কোনো আইডিয়া নেই, অ্যান্ড দেন নর্মালি একটা মহেশের থাকার কথা। তো লেটস সি যে হাউ ইট গোজ উইথ দ্য বোলিং ইউনিট।
সো গতবারও খেলেছেন, অবশ্যই এই মাঠে অবশ্যই অনেক সুখের অভিজ্ঞতা আছে এবং সেই অভিজ্ঞতা কাজে লাগাতে চাইবেন ফর দ্য কনজিকিউটিভ ইয়ার্স।
সেম থিং, মানে আমাদের গত সিজনের ফার্স্ট ম্যাচ উইথ অনফিল্ড সেম অপোজিশন, সেম থিং। প্রবলি আমরা ওটাকে রিপিট করার চেষ্টা করবো, অ্যান্ড যদি আমরা ওটাকে ওভারকাম করতে পারি, অ্যান্ড দ্যাট শুড বি আ গুড স্টার্ট ফর আস।
কত স্কোর এক্সপেক্ট করছেন অনফিল্ডের কাছ থেকে?
আই হোপ এনিথিং 150-60 এই মাঠে আমরা যেটা দেখেছি গত অ্যাভারেজে শুড বি ফাইন টু অ্যান চেজেবল স্কোর।
থ্যাংক ইউ অ্যান্ড গুড লাক ফর দ্য ম্যাচ। টিপু সুলতান মাহমুদ টসে হেরেছেন, প্রথমে ব্যাটিং করবেন, এই সিদ্ধান্তটা নিতেন আপনি টসে জিতলে?
হ্যাঁ, টসে জিতলে বোলিং ফার্স্ট নেওয়ার প্ল্যানই ছিল আমাদের।
একদম ফ্রেশ উইকেট, বলা হচ্ছে যে প্রথম কয়েকটা ওভার যদি দেখে খেলতে পারেন এরপরে ব্যাটিংটা ইজি হতে পারে। কত টার্গেট এক্সপেক্ট করছেন দিতে পারবেন হেরিটেজকে?
যেহেতু আগে ব্যাট করতে হবে, সেক্ষেত্রে আমরা 180 প্লাস টার্গেটে ট্রাই করবো ইনশাআল্লাহ।
কামিং ব্যাক টু অনফিল্ড, গতবারও টুর্নামেন্টটা খেলেছেন, একটু অন অফ গ্যাসের সিজনটা, এই টুর্নামেন্টটা আবারও শুরু হচ্ছে, নতুন সিজন, নতুন সব প্ল্যানিং, সো ট্রাই থাকবে অবশ্যই অনফিল্ডের শিরোপাটা জেতার।
হ্যাঁ, অবশ্যই চেষ্টা তো থাকবে অবশ্যই শিরোপা জেতার। গত সিজনের চাইতে এই সিজনে কিছু নতুন প্লেয়ার আমরা অ্যাড করেছি, চেষ্টা করবো অবশ্যই শিরোপা রেসে যাতে আমরা থাকতে পারি, সেভাবে পারফর্ম করার ইনশাআল্লাহ।
Yes, good luck for the match. Thank you. So here is the news from the toss center where the on-field sports management won the toss. Heritage cricketers won the toss and they elected to bowl first.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Assalamu alaikum, and a very good morning to you all. This is match day 2 of KINEN Presents TK T20 Cricket Tournament 2024-25, and this is the 10th season of this corporate cricketing festival, and we are welcoming you all from this beautiful ground of PKSP Pubergao Krida Shikha Pratishthan. Today we have two exciting games in hand. First up, we have heritage cricketers up against on-field, which is match number 3. On the mic, I am Shajjadu Dash. We'll be with you all day long with Prantor Dash Onoy, who was out there few moments ago at the toss. And you know what happened there? Heritage cricketers won the toss and they elected to field first. The weather here today is a lovely morning, bright sunny morning with the temperature hovering around 25 degrees Celsius. But we are expecting a hotter day ahead. We can see that the umpires and the players have already entered into the field. We expect an exhilarating contest between these two exciting teams. And let's welcome Prantor in the combox as well. Prantor, you were out there at the toss. What do you think about the pitch? You were very close to the pitch. You saw, and what do you think how the pitch will behave?
Good morning, Sajjad, and a very warm welcome to all our audiences around the city and around the country, definitely. And yes, Sajjad, it was a bright, shiny morning out there, and the sunlight was straight out of the pitch where it looks very warm and a very placid pitch to bat on at the beginning. Though the Heritage team elected to field first, and undoubtedly there was a plan and there have been a plan to use the moisture condition at the very beginning, but trust me, it will turn around a true batting pitch later on. So if you could stay calm in the beginning of that first 4 or 5 overs, it will be an easy highway to bat on around the day. So very good morning, Sajjad. And the weather looks nice and bright, but you never know about the weather condition, though it's predicted to be shinier throughout the day. But you can expect a sudden change, definitely, but not that much heavily that turn around. So we can expect a jam-packed action day here at PKSP, where it is happening. The Gold KINEN presents TK Corporate T20 Cricket Tournament 2024-2025. And as you mentioned, on-field will be batting first, and their first 11 looks pretty much promising to go on in this match alongside heritage cricketers very experienced in the corporate tournament. On the other hand, on field, just a newcomer participated previously in this tournament and not that much good outing, although, but they are definitely hoping to turn the table around.
Redwan straying away from the off stump. I thought it would be a wide, but the umpire didn't agree with me. So the first ball bowled. Akib and Ishtiaq Sarkar Milon, they are the two batters out there. So Prantor, you already mentioned that, and also at the toss, captain of the heritage cricketers, he also mentioned that they want to make use of the whatever moisture out there. But do you think the moisture will last long?
I don't think so, Sajjad. Second ball. Brilliantly driven, two out the cover for a boundary. So that I was talking about, the moisture they were talking about, not will be lasting so much, and the action just started there with the boundary. Brilliantly played, used the gap, and just got the boundary in the very second delivery of the day.
He left the first ball and he noticed that there was not any notable movement of the surface, and he threw his bat when he saw the ball at a fuller length, and a brilliant boundary to start the proceedings for his team. On field on the way, 4 without a loss. Edged for a single. Protection at the third man.
They are capitalizing the outside off stump region to bowl, and you can see Redwan just targeting that fourth to fifth stump corridor every time. From the first 3 balls, you could easily see where Ishtiaq Sarkar tried to cope up with the situation a bit and just try his shots. And that's the same thing happened yesterday, where lots of runs been scored through that point region, through that cover. So it's very safe to say that if you throw your bat perfectly, properly, you could just get out of those runs very easily. Not that much movement starting on.
Played across the line. Wow, that will go for a boundary. That shows how fast this outfield is. I don't think he middled it, Akib, but he will pick up 4 runs.
That's how T20 being scored and played. Definitely. Just throwing his bat properly, as I mentioned there. Not that much hint of movement. And for that exact reason, Akib had that courage to go with the ball and to go with the flow for having that boundary from that square leg or backward square leg region. Nice start.
Once again, we already were discussing how much moisture there will be on the surface. We're not seeing any deviation of the pitch, of the seam. And the last ball going down the leg side for an extra run. Redwan around the wicket. Once again, keeping it low, but oh, what did you do? It was a straightforward fielding opportunity for the fielder, but he missed it. And the second boundary, in fact, the third one of this over.
Momentum, Sajjad. It's true momentum that they are capitalizing at this moment. and the ball doesn't seem to have that much deviation except the air swing. Again, deliberately played. It is going to the boundary line. And at last, a diving effort to save at least 2 to 3 runs for the team. But on field, got the momentum earlier. First over gone. It's 15 without a loss for on field sports management.
Flying start from on-field sports management. 15 without a loss. And the much discussed moisture, whether there is any, if there is any, how much effect it will have on the game. Redwan had a really expensive over, conceding 15, and straight away we can see spin into the attack. So the theory of using the moisture went out of the window just after 1 over. Mohammad Ghulam Kabir Russell.
As expected, they want to just use the turn and a bit of bounce from that placid pitch where batters will definitely have that advantage. And an off spin straight away down the leg will be signaled as a wide. I guess yes, it is. So a wide to start on for the spinner Mohammad Ghulam Kabir Russell.
That kept a bit low. Was that a drop chance? The skipper, Ronnie, feeling at short cover. His body language is suggesting that that did carry to the bowler, Russell. With a slip in operation, the non-striker wanted a leg bye, but it was not on offer.
And both of the bowlers are trying to just get used to the pitch, used to the condition. They're just losing that air swing from the very first over from a pacer and the immediate one from a spinner. An off spin for the left hand batters was expected to come, but so early call from heritage cricketers. Flight down the leg only for a single. So they are playing shots and they are being very much watchful against the spinner.
The interesting thing is we already saw that the pacers, or rather I should say the pacer, the only one over we saw from Redwan, he did not get any kind of movement off the surface. And now the spinner in operation, he is also not getting any turn. But the odd deliveries, they are keeping low. So the batters, they have to be very watchful. Yes, there are runs out there. If you apply yourself, I think 160, 170, even more, maybe 180 or close to 200 is a possibility. I think heritage cricketers, they missed the trick, winning the toss and letting the opponent bat first on a fresh surface. I expect that day will get hotter and the surface and the cracks will open up and it will be wow, that's gone. It was way outside off stump and Akib tried to chase it. In fact, Milan it was tried to chase it, only edging it towards the keeper. So early success for on field.
Exactly. The bowling worked for them, and there was totally an unnecessary step for Ishtiaq Sarkar. Or I guess Akib, right? Beg your pardon. No need to just follow that ball and to hit the ball down there, and got that edge. Straight away, the finger went up. So the first one down, on-field sports management, 17 with a loss of their first wicket.
So Russell, starting the over with a wide, has already found his rhythm, or rather, I should say, a loose shot. It was way outside of stump. It was a lazy looking shot from Milan. Only managed to edge to the keeper. Himel Nawaz is the new batter. Heritage cricketers, after an expensive first over, trying to come back into the game. And the best way to come back into the game for a fielding team is picking up wickets, and they did exactly that. Flighted nicely, beautifully driven. No one is out there. Himel Nawaz, he is saying, okay, let me come to bat and let me show how to drive the ball.
Joining the party of boundaries and over boundaries straight away. Look at that shot. Classic one. Utilizing that first power play. Himel Nawaz coming and flashing those balls. Had a chit chat with his partner down there at the other end, Akib. Last ball of the over. Way outside of. I think he was pushing the batter to bat onto the second pitch, Sajjad.
Brother Russell, he may have picked up a wicket, but once again, wide outside off stump, the line is not that good. 22 for 1 after 2 overs on field. On field, scoring at 11, 22 after 2. But they had to lose one of the openers. Heritage cricketers won the toss, elected to field first. Interestingly, the captain of on-field sports management, he also expressed that he would have fielded first, change in the bowling after an expensive first over. Redwan has been replaced with Mohammad Imran Parvez, left arm medium pace bowler. Akib, he's off to a flyer. 10 of 6 deliveries, hit 2 boundaries in the first over. Very strong on the leg side. We have seen playing those pull shots, cross-batted shots. Beautifully driven.
Very nice. And similarly, an ugly fielding from the fielder. Let the ball just pass the boundary line for a boundary. Very, very sloppy, Sajjad.
It was lazy. Just look at that. The ball showed a hint of away swing in the air, but sloppy fielding. Absolutely sloppy fielding. Once again, way outside off stump. The bowlers, they are trying to find the right line and length on this surface. The sooner they find it, the better for the team.
Absolutely. And as I was talking about the air swing, Sajjad, the bowlers are not that much capable to control that air swing thing. And again, came back nice, came back very tight, but you have to find your rhythm to use that air swing properly against the batter. And the batter, you can see that Akib and Himel Nawaz, both of them trying to utilize that outside off stump corridor and that corridor expects a lot of run if you just don't bowl properly.
Once again, it was short, it was wide. Akib will feel that he missed out on an opportunity to score a boundary. Tidy over so far after conceding a 4. Thanks to the mistake done by the fielder. He came back well, Imran Parvez.
Scramble same. Just had an inside edge towards that point region for another run. So singles and doubles are not coming that much frequently, except those boundaries, and thanks to those sloppy fieldings by on-field sports management, they are getting their runs. We have already seen 2 sloppy fielding, so you need to come back very soon. In the T20s, you don't actually find that much time to come back, and you need at the same time just 2 to 3 balls to come back onto your rhythm. And Imran Parvez just trying that same thing.
Absolutely making slight adjustments on the field. The deep third man. The bowler wants him more squarer against the right-handed batter. Brilliant! That came back beautifully. Imran Parvez, he bowled a beauty, and the second wicket lost for on field.
What a beauty, a dream delivery for any fast bowlers around the world. And Imran Parvez just delivered that. Look at that ball. Left arm, just hint of swing, a little hint of swing there. An ensuing delivery just breached that defense of Tipu Sultan Mahmud. The captain went on. Or I guess the captain comes in. Where is Mohammad Imran Parvez? Just had his man Himil Nawaz clean bowled in the score of 4 runs.
The only boundary he hit, the first ball he faced, and after that, he couldn't score a single run. Imran Parvez, that will give him lots of confidence. First hint of swing we have witnessed so far this morning. Reminding you, this is the first game of the day. Fresh pitch. Yes, the batter should enjoy that time out there. But Imran Parvez, he is also showing that if you can pitch the ball on the right area, then the ball also might have something to say. Slight delay in the field. Tipu Sultan Mahmud went there without an helmet, and the umpire, he is asking him to wear the helmet. Safety first. You might be facing a medium pace bowler, but you never know how the ball will behave.
From the first 2 to 3 overs, we have seen lots of drama, just boundaries, sloppy fieldings, but at the same time, few brilliant deliveries. And lastly, we had seen that brilliant delivery from Imran Parvez. And you're talking about safety first, definitely. You never know what is coming next for you. Imran Parvez finally got his in-swinging deliveries right, had that grab to that air swing tight, and just got that little movement to just breached Nawaz's stump and defense. So a brilliant delivery following by a bit of late action from the batter. I guess the timed out thing comes in, as we saw that in international cricket.
Absolutely. The delay continues, and Tipu Sultan, He lets go of the helmet once again and will continue with the hat on only. And the fun part is, Angelo Matthews, he also had this helmet malfunction on that incident you were talking about against Bangladesh in the World Cup.
I think that's why Tipu Sultan came in at first and then just trying to settle down his helmets and everything.
So Imran Parvez, after bowling a beauty on the previous delivery, ends with the dot ball. Once again, in swinging Yorker, a successful over completed by Imran Parvez on field 28 for 2 after 3. Russell continuing with his off spin that came back sharply. Akib a bit tentative, a bit unsure whether to go forward or stay on the crease.
Good start from Ghulam Kabir.
That's edged over for a boundary. Once again, outside the off stump, just opened the face of the bat.
At the time, we were expecting that the bowlers just coming back in, immediately Akib went on to the action and just slightly cut that ball towards that deep third man and finding that fine tune from the bat. Oh, another brilliant delivery. That's what the spin talks about when you pitched it right. Clean bowled Akib. What a delivery. It was flighted, drifted, and it was just breached. And again, the defense of another batter. Akib this time, the inform and the fine-tuning batter, just going back to the pavilion with a nice delivery. It was loopy one, it was tempting one, and just got that bells dislodged. Third one down. Akib going on 32 for 3 on field sports management.
মাঝপথে কোনো একটা খেলা হচ্ছে যে খেলায় আমার যদি থাক
Thirty-two for 3 on field sports management. Newman in. Mushfiqur. And immediately after that, a sleep been introduced. An aggressive approach. Flighted one again. Not a convincing drive, though they just crossed in between, and Mushfiqur off the mark with that single. So Tipu Sultan Mahmud, the skipper of on-field sports management, will be facing Ghulam Kabir Rashel for the first time with that spin, with that off spin. A quicker one, a flatter one though, from Ghulam Kabir Rashel. Drifted nicely, and again a sloppy one. Just had that overthrow for having a single at last. not a good fielding unit so far. Heritage cricketers, they need to fix things up early. As the game progresses, it will be a tough one if they keep losing those balls and keep doing those sloppy fieldings. Nicely bowled. A drifter won a quicker armour to finish things off. 4 gone. It's 34 for 3 on field sports management. Gold KINEN presents TK Corporate T20 Cricket Tournament 2024-25. It's the 10th season. Co-sponsored by Privemen, food partner Cricketers Dining Restaurant, broadcast partner 10-12 Sports Management. 20 teams participating by being divided into 4 groups, and the 5th over starting on with Imran Parvez. Very watchful approach from Tipu Sultan Mahmud. It was incoming and he waited and waited for the ball and finally just defended that. And we were talking about last year champion BMC, the BMC Victorians with the runner-up SPZ Boys. It was a jam-packed final. You are expecting the similar one in this year. Laila Cricket Club, SPZ Legends, Dhaka Nawabs, SPZ Gladiators on field, Kingsman, Dhaka Warriors, AK Royals, 10-12 Cricketers, Amin Weekend Cricket Club, Info Titans, BMC, Tech Republic, Ruslan's Studio, Linus Sports Club, Mean Machine, Majestic, Stargage, Strikers, Heritage Cricketers, and Super Giants. These are the 20 teams participating this year in this seasons of Gold KINEN TK Sports Corporate T20 Cricket Tournament. Nicely played, flick of the wrist, but could not just find that vacant position. Tipu Sultan and Imran Parvez just coming back strongly, ball by ball, and he's developing his incoming deliveries very well. Tipu Sultan with that exposed batting approach, letting the ball coming in onto the pads. That might be an attacking approach, but at the same time, it's a bit risky. But you know that you need to take that risk to march from here. And Imran Parvez continuously eyeing that leg stump line and just getting his balls right. So the 5th gone, dot to finish, 35 for 3 on field sports management. A very bright and jubilant day here in Pubergao Kriya Shiksha Pratishthan PKSP, where we are for the 3rd match of the season. Game day 2 it is, where on-field sports management facing the heritage cricketers, the most experienced teams around the corporate leagues or the amateur cricket leagues around the city. So it will be a tough fight for on-field sports management. They started well, had 15 runs from the first over, but after that, just losing that mark like this shot by Tipu Sultan Mahmud. Was nowhere there on the line of the ball. Guided gently, very gently. They have been trying to rotate the strike, but unfortunately they are not getting that groove. Well, just getting caught and trying those big hopping shots around the park and missing it eventually, not helping the cause of the teams. Flatter one and a very slight turn after pitching up onto the pitch, and they have been coming very strongly, I must say. The Heritage cricketers, they do know how to come back and how to utilize the condition. Again, just tempting the batter, tempting him frequently with that same channel. Sometimes it's kind of good length, sometimes it's fuller. So the batter himself just getting confused whether he should leave or he should hit. Oh, again a potential inside edge. Lucky for the batter of not having those bells dislodged. So a maiden over from Golam Kabir Rashel. A brilliant one though from him. 35 for 3 on field sports management after 6. After an eventful power play, on field sports management seems to be in a dire strait of not getting so much boundaries. At the same time, no doubles or singles been scored or being get properly. Imran Parvez with the ball down the leg and flicked it deliberately, but protection is there at the fine leg. So finally a run came in, and I was talking about the perfect pitch up from both of the pacers and the lone spinners who have been bowling brilliantly, following the batters very promptly. Tipu Sultan just getting his luck on his opposite way around that off stump region, and at the same time Imran Parvez, you could definitely see with a proper strategy he has been targeting that off stump corridor or that out of off stump line against Tipu Sultan Mahmud, who had been struggling onto that zone both against the spinner and against the spacers, trying to break the shackle. Just walking across, couldn't just hold that ball properly in the bat. And for that tight reason, how the bowlers behaving or just responding properly at the proper time, they are just getting onto those false line around that off stump, at the same time onto the legs. You could see how much lack of confidence in them after losing 3 wickets. It was a juicy full toss outside off. It could have been hit anywhere, but he just drove the ball straight to the fielder. And that's what happened when you are lacking confidence after losing 3 early wickets. At the same point, at the same region, targeting that off stump line, he has been very, very much consistent with his line and length. Brilliant, brilliant observation from the bowlers, executing that very well. And for that execution, the batters just having some trouble so far. Flicked it up, picked it up, high up in the air, fielders underneath it. Oh my God. Another sloppy mistake. Very sloppy approach. You could see that brilliant execution onto that mill stump line. The ball was flying high, but not that much tougher for the fielder at the deep backward square. But because of that sloppiness, Tipu Sultan survived. 38 for 3 after 7. Stroke beautifully, brilliant shot it is, but straight in the hand of the fielder. Fourth one down. And as I was talking about execution, Golam Kabir Russell brilliantly bowled that onto that off stump region for Tipu Sultan Mahmud. And he was trying his luck, riding his luck, but not that time. Went straight. It was dead straight. The ball was flying onto that long on region, but the fielder was down there, and this time didn't get a mess of it. So fourth one down for on-field sports management. They are losing their way for surely. You could see that against the turn from that outside off stump region. He was eyeing that fourth or fifth stump corridor, and from there he tried to drag on it through that long on region, and at last captured there. So 39 for 4 after 7.1. Mohammad Abdur Rahman, the new man in. Tipu Sultan Mahmud caught out for only 3 runs. On field, they are not on the field at this moment. Losing their way. Newman in Abdur Rahman tried to flick that ball and at last got that single to start on the proceeding for on-field sports management. 40 for 4. And Golam Kibriya Russell, what a spell he's having on. 3 wickets for him. He's in his last over of his spell. So he will must go for a wicket. Flighted, brilliantly bowled around that off stump corridor where They have been facing lots of difficulties to score, whether it is with singles or doubles or boundaries. Again, a flight, straight it, a straight drive, and finally got the boundary from the straightish position. Welcoming one for on-field sports management. You could see it's been flighted, but way outside off. But the batter that time followed that line of the ball, went onto the line of the ball, and then hit it straight away. Quicker one again. A bit sloppiness in the field. Allowed the batter to cross. Long side, 45 on board now. So from the first over where they got 15 runs on board, after that, after finishing 7 overs, they have just got 30 runs on board. So 8 gone, 45 for 4 on field sports management. So there they have been just falling apart. Not getting enough singles or doubles. They are just going for long hopping shots to score. You're watching TK Sports Corporate T20 Cricket Tournament 2024-25. 10th season on your way. As we have our proud title sponsor KINEN with our co-sponsored or powered by sponsor Privemen. J.N. Loban, who took the catch at the long on region to dismiss Tipu Sultan, the last wicket for on-field sports management. He comes in with the ball in hand. Kind of fixing things going on alongside a bit of drink. And you could see the practice grounds down there where players are running on, warming up for the next match, and at the same time the academy students are also practicing down there. Loban, first ball, outside off, cut it nice and fine for a boundary from that deep backward point region. Just lost his line and length. Look at that, a slinging action like Malinga or Pathirana in international cricket, but not that perfect line and length. A bit of back of a length, outside off, and it was there to be hit for a boundary. Good comeback from Loban. Again a back of a length, but much finer than the previous one. And the 50 comes in for on-field sports management with that single down the leg side. And I was told to just explain that pitch report by Sajjad earlier on, and we both were the same page that the pitch might get a good batting pitch from there where moisture could talk in. Brilliantly bowled. Just missed that leg stump with a narrow margin. Lucky escape for the batter. Though a wide been signalled, but it was a gem of a bowling from Loban. He needs to come back with his rhythm. And at the same time, When I was talking about the moisture in the ground, saw a bit cracks, but not that much visibly down there at this moment. Again, it's onto the pads. Finger goes up. Loban with the appeal, and the umpire was dead straight with that decision. Fifth one now. Jay and Loban finally trapped the batter. What an important wicket of Abdur Rahman. Look at that. Slinging one. Batter had no clue before flicking it away, and the ball just had the flatter length to hit onto the middle and leg of the batter. So a brilliant start for Loban. Just looking his line and length, trying to pitch it perfectly, and finally he did that. 51 for 5 on Field Sports Management. Ripping through the batting order of on-field sports management. Heritage cricketers just showing their heritage of bowling, brilliant spells of bowling from the bowlers. And they, after conceding 15 runs, came back so hard with proper strategy and discipline in the bowling. They are showing their class. Newman in, Saiful Islam. Oh, that's what I was talking about. A slinging one. Batter expects sometimes to have that juicy full toss, but at the last moment, it just pitches like that, like a half tracker. Again, a brilliant one. A bit slower. Rambling seam. And the batter had to defend it. Saiful Islam Guldi. It's a nice nickname, though. He played Gulti at the young age. Again, a low full toss. Only a single should be scored. Yes, it is 52 for 5 after 9 on Field Sports Management. Third match going on between heritage cricketers and on-field sports management. The fourth match coming on your way after this in between AK Royals and Tech Republic. Tenth over starting in. Pretty much in a grip. This match for heritage cricketers. Look at that. They have been trying those big shots, from being nowhere at the ground, no proper planning against each bowler. And that's the position, or that's the point where they have been missing to score those big runs. 52 on board, halfway down in this match, in this innings. So you need to utilize both of your actions from taking singles and doubles and scoring those big shots, but with the proper planning against each of the bowlers. Not a convincing one again, only for a single. And as I was talking about strategies, you could easily found that the bowlers frequently reading the mindset of the batters and their steps, their stances, everything, and just hitting onto their weaker zones. Just passing those two fielders, singles been taken again. So the strategies were spot on, definitely, for the bowlers. For Tipu Sultan Mahmud, they had a different strategy, and for others had different. A bit uppish one. So these things making this match a very competitive one, and it would have been a bit competitive more if the batters could have done the same. What a delivery from Mohammad Habibur Rahman, slashed away from the batter. It was a quicker armor. It's kind of like a pacer bowling in. He has been coming round of the wicket, so just getting that angle right for the batters and just capturing him in front of the wicket very well with his tight line and length. Halfway down of this innings, 55 for 5 on field sports management. A beautiful ground it is, the PKSP, and a beautiful looking shot. Swept it nice and had that boundary. One drop, 4 runs. Brilliantly played at last. Look at that shot. It was there to be hit, not to the straightish one, but at around the wicket, around the corner of the deep mid wicket for a boundary, and he utilized it brilliantly. I beg your pardon, it's a 6, an over boundary. Brilliant shot though. Flying start of this over, of this 11th over. But immediately after that, Shakir Hossain Munna came back well. Just let the ball away from the batter. Nicely bowled. Exactly onto the feet of the ball of the batter. Almost a Yorker one. But this time Mushfiqur did the good thing by having a single from that kindly unplayable ball, or nearly an unplayable ball. So that's what you need to keep on doing. Finding those singles and doubles every time. Every time you won't be able to score big. Slighted one, lofted, but fall safe. So they have been trying shots from the very beginning of this innings. So you need to at the same time be a bit calculative, a bit smart to capture the right ball, to capture the right length of the bowler, and you need to play with the mind of the bowlers. That's what the bowlers were doing against the batters. Flighted higher, higher that time, and it's higher enough to get past that boundary line for a six. Second six of this over. Waited, and just picked up that ball with that flighted and lofted on drive towards that cow corner region. They are coming on after breaking the shackles in this over, and this over may seem a bit of a game changing one. 69 for 5, 14 runs coming in this over. Oh, what a take! What a take! What a bowling! Beauty! Saw the batter just coming in front with his front step, and he just got his length a bit short, a bit tight onto that off stump line. Flighted one, look at that. And just he got his blade, just got that blade, a bit flashy one. And the ball was flying very riskfully. But the bowler, what a dive to take that catch. Sixth one down for on-field sports management. 69 for 6. Newman in, Dilar Hussain, though he'll be at the other end of the pitch, but not so long. 12th over starting in. Habibur Rahman with the ball. A very good first over. Conceded only 3 runs and coming back at that time. It was a bit tricky one to bowl, but he bowled brilliantly. Single been taken by Mushfiqur. Oh, again, a brilliant delivery. Just drifting on to that off stump corridor. He had to defend. He had to defend and had to defensively push through. A bit slower one. And with Habibur Rahman, with other bowlers, bowled brilliantly. Not a good over from Ridwan in the very first over, after what he was just pulled off, but with his fellow bowlers, Ghulam Kabir Rashel, Imran Parvez, Loban, Habibur Rahman, Sakir Hossain, Munna, all bowled brilliantly. Though Munna just conceded 12 runs in the last over, but at the same time got that wicket of Saiful Islam. who slashed a boundary and another boundary. Another single been taken. So, as I was talking about the bowling performances, kind of a hurry at the striking end. And all were very much economical, at the same time wicket takers. For that reason, and special thanks goes to Mohammad Gulam Kibriya Rashel. He has been utilized brilliantly. Last ball, tried to come from the wicket, but at the same time, he was very watchful and aware to just go back inside of the crease. Dot to finish, 71 for 6 on field sports management after 12. Imran Parvez coming with the ball again, lofted on right, fielder there, just a drop before him. Just a drop saved the batter. There was a good shot. It was a good shot though. Just couldn't pass that fielder for another boundary. 73 for 6 at this point. Veranthal Sports Management will definitely try to score. As you can see, the projected score 122. At least that 120 to 130 runs mark to pose some sort of threat to Heritage Sports. Brilliantly bowled by Imran Parvez, where they could pose a threat. It was a clean bowled for Mushfiqur. Though it was a no ball, it was a free hit down there. Brilliantly bowled. It was a perfect Yorker for any kind of fast bowler. But the very last time, it could have been a last dance. So they just find another way to pose a threat, though. Brilliantly bowled, inside edge, lucky, very lucky for having a boundary from that inside edge. And Imran Parvez must be feeling that luck against him. Brilliant in swinger, exactly onto the toes of the batter. But somehow he managed that inside edge to get past that short fine leg fielder. Lucky boundary, lucky and timely boundary for on-field sports management. Mushfiq, I guess, the lone warrior at this moment. And the crease for on-field. Again, Strumble Sim. Right at that off and middle stump zone. He has been targeting that leg stump region. But after having that inside edge, he just got his line and length a bit tighter onto that off and middle stump zone. Flick of the wrist. Again a bouncer before the fielder. Lucky one for Mushfiqur. He's just playing with his lengths. Look at that, it's a bit fuller. Outside leg The batter just shuffled away from his stance and trying to hit that through that fine leg. Brilliantly bowled, pacing up his deliveries. Imran Parvez from that scramble seam to right at the upright seam. It just went past in a flash. Last ball. Again, change of pace, a bit scramble one for only a single to finish things off. 13 gone. It's 80 for 6. Habibur Rahman with his third over. Brilliantly bowled. Brilliantly bowled. Just a flatter one. He has been pushing the batters to come in front of the wicket to try those big hopping shots. Again, playing with the high catch. 1, 2, 3. At the third time, he took the catch. A watchful. Look at that. Look at that. It was flying, flying hard, getting that on air movement. And for that, it was making a bit of confusion for the fielder. But at last, it was being taken now. 7th down for on-field sports management. 85 for 7. Sohail comes in as the next batter, or I could say the tail ender. Outside off, it's a flatter one for Mohammad Habibur Rahman. 85 for 7 after 14 on-field sports management. "10:12 is the time in the clock, and it's a time to remember our broadcast partner 10:12 Sports, who has been broadcasting this Gold KINEN Presents TK Corporate T20 Cricket Tournament 2024-25. Season 10 it is, where the title sponsor is Gold KINEN itself and the co-sponsor, Briveman. Brilliantly bowled. Sakir Hossain Munna. Slog sweep it was, but not convincingly. Higher in the air, and the deep backward square leg had his smile at last. Another catch, another wicket for on-field sports management. 85 for 8. Now look at the ball. It came back straight. It wasn't there to sweep that ball right across that deep backward square leg or square leg region. He could play it straight one. But hats off to the bowler, Sakir Hossain Munna. He saw Dilwar Hussain went on crisscrossed with his feet, and for that reason, he didn't let the ball to turn that much and just bowled that straight, quicker armour to miss it completely. Left arm Mohammad Nuruddin Nobeen comes in and just had his defensive approach going on. Flick of the wrist. Flick of the wrist again. Is it a wicket? Is it a wicket? Yes, it is. They are celebrating it. What a sudden and a very surprising wicket it was. From the com box, definitely. And that's the flick of the wrist. Not that much literal movement from the fielders to celebrate that. But what a wicket. Another one for Sakir Hossain Munna. Third one from him. And on-field sports management, they are nowhere in the ground, in the field at this moment. 85 for 9. Just a wicket left for them in this innings. And it's not started well in this tournament for on-field sports management. Flighted one from him, and at this moment, Ghazi Shuhak comes in and he's not trying to loft that ball, just trying to play, I guess, from now on through that ground for only singles or doubles. What a lethal bowling performance from Heritage cricketers. They were spot on in the toss, and now they're spot on with their bowling performances. Round the wicket for right hand Sohail left it like a test match. A slip been introduced, and for that reason, the ball was there from away of that off stump line. Another brilliant over from Sakir Hossain Munna, closed in 2 overs 13 for 3 for Munna, 86 for 9 on field sports management. Kept it very low. Mohammad Habibur Rahman, just another fumble in the ground. Led the batter to cross for another single. 87 for 9 at this moment. On-field sports management. Not a good outing, but you need to give credit to the bowlers. For surely high up in the air, fielded there, not that much in closer to take that ball. Just a bounce, but covered a lot of ground. Loban, he has not been introduced after his first over. So another tactical change for Shirley as heritage cricketers. Skipper Jial Alam Rani, the experienced one, was seeing the ball just have some sort of turn for the spinners. For that reason, I guess he went on with his spinners continuously and is getting the result. Nice top there from Mohammad Habibur Rahman. He is in his last over of his spell. And this is pretty much good tactics by being an off spinner, coming round the wicket every time, creating that angle. Lofted, pulled it nice, and pulled it too from the defense. It's a 6 to finish things off. What a shot it was! It was there to be hit and just hit it out of the park. 16 gone, 95 for 9 on-field sports management. Welcome back, Sajjad. Had a nice outing,
Yes, thank you so much, Prantar. I had a nice outing, but
but not
it's
on field.
absolutely not a nice outing for on-field. 95 for 9. They started off very well, 15 of the very first over, and then they lost their way.
80 runs after that first over in the 15th over, but they have lost 9 important wickets.
It was Apish, one bounce for a single. The first challenge for on-field right now is playing the whole quota of 20 overs. Still 23 balls to go. Now, the first challenge is completing those 23 deliveries and trying to score as more as they can.
At least the 100 runs barrier to have some sort of psychological advantage.
Absolutely. The only problem is they have only one wicket in hand, and one little mistake would end everything for them. Sohel and Ghazi Sohag, they are trying to rotate the strikes, and that is the right thing to do at this moment.
Absolutely. They should try to find those singles and doubles, not going for those high shots, lofted shots, the flyers, but if they can play grounded, I think they could easily surpass that 100 runs mark from here.
Left that delivery. They cannot afford too many dot deliveries as well. Strike rotation is very important. Yes, they lost 9 wickets, but they need some score on the board as well.
Having said that, another single's been taken. So that's the problem. That's the main problem going on for on-field sports management, because they have been trying, all of their batters, they have been trying so much high lofted shots, and for that reason, somehow or somewhere, they just fall apart in front of the strategies or the tactics of heritage cricketers. They have been following each and every batters. They have been diagnosing their weaknesses and their holes. Lofted shot, swept it nice and swept it long for a six. I was talking about playing it higher, and that been taken so seriously.
It was a matchup game, the left arm bowler against the left handed batter, and he chanced his arms successfully. 103 for 9. The first barrier of getting over 100 has been conquered. Single to follow, single to end the over. 104 for 9 after 17.
বাহ, ইন্ডিয়ান পারভেজ তো ভালোই কোনো করে গেছে। রেদন রানেই নেই ফার্স্ট ওভার না।
3 wickets for Munna. Considered 22 of his 3 overs. 3 wickets for Russell as well. With 1 maiden, considered only 19 of his 4 overs. That's brilliant. And one more bowler, the left arm seamer, Imran Pervez, he also considered only 19 of his 4 overs, took 1 wicket. Loban and Habibur Rahman with a wicket each. Loban bowled only 1 over. And the interesting part is Ridwan. He bowled the first over of the game, conceded 15 runs, and since then, we haven't seen him into the attack.
Yes, in relation of that, Sajjad, Ziaul Alam, the skipper of heritage cricketers, just got that atmosphere very well and responded it very well. So he has been very much reactive and at the same time proactive of changing his bowlers or just playing with his spinners early in the match for having some sort of advantage. As he was looking around, the ball was had some sort of turn from the pitch, and if you could hit the pitch well of those slight smooth cracks or near about unseen cracks, so it should be an easy one. And it happened, it was Loban coming back in with his slinging action, but not that much good first delivery.
Reminding us of Mathisa Pathirana. Loban is wearing jersey number 99, the great Lasith Malinga from Sri Lanka. One of the modern day greats of this game. Heritage cricketers trying to bowl on field out.
We could take the risk after saying that Loban intimidated Malinga after seeing his action. For surely lots of us who just played cricket after 2007 or 8 or 2009, on that period of time, we tried that action so long and just misjudged it sometime with our natural actions and just had those wides and no balls, full tosses, and those nose breaking deliveries.
It's not very easy to control the line and length with
Exactly.
this slinging
How
action.
come Last Malinga or Patirana
Or
do that?
not this slingy, but the round armish bowling action, pitching the ball on the right areas is
Same
not very
goes for
easy.
Shoaib Akhtar.
Absolutely. I was just about to say his name. Shoaib Akhtar, even before the great Australian Geoff Thompson. Round arm fast bowlers. They were quick. They were express. And that's why they were very effective as well. Not many bowlers could do it successfully for a longer period of time. A bit uppish, but fall short of the fielder.
And Loban has been bowling very well. After his first over, he got a wicket, definitely. And in this over, just gave away 3 runs. So he has been controlling his roundup actions very well. And again, you could see that unplayable, nearly unplayable Yorkers, slower Yorkers, and he has been mixing up his pace very well. So he has been in making for surely.
This is a good over from Lovan, only 2 of it and 1 by run, considered 9 of his 1.5 overs, picked up 1 wicket as well. Heritage cricketers definitely they are dictating terms at this moment here at PKSP. Very first game for both teams. Uphill, but surely that was missing. Did it hit his pad? Yes, it did. Surely missing leg stump. Another good over for Heritage cricketers. 108 for 9 after 18.
Like 7 or 8 months after.
12 legitimate deliveries to go on field. Can they survive? That is the first question.
I think they can. I think. But if they just skip this Sakir Hossain Munna's over, who has been bowling brilliantly, 3 overs, 3 wickets for 22 runs, and what a spell of bowling from Sakir Hossain Munna alongside other spinners, for surely. And from that change in bowling, from fielding everywhere, Heritage cricketers just trumped in. Flighted. Was it an ideal one? Yes, it is. Just get past that long on boundary. What a shot from Sohail.
Munna losing the plot towards the end of his spell. It was a half volley against the left-hander. Gaji Sohag was the one who hit another 6 of Munna's bowling in the previous over. And it is Gaji Sohag once again. Score has been corrected. Gaji Sohag taking a liking of Munna's bowling. Now what will he do? How Munna will react to this situation? Once again, flighted delivery. Once again, lofted and dropped catch. Oh my goodness. And it went for a 6 or a boundary. The umpire is asking the fielder. He will be checking. Yes, it went for a 6. It was an expensive miss.
These extras will be costing the match for surely in this turning ground. And look at the miss. It was a bit tough. It was just flying very fast. But you need to take those catches if you want to win these matches, these close matches.
120 up. Let me tell you, yes, this ground is good. This wicket is good for batting. But you never know. When you are chasing, once again, a bit short delivery. Quick single. Heritage cricketers conceding another extra run. Overthrows. Heritage cricketers getting frustrated by the situation. What a brilliant last wicket partnership.
These are the extras for surely. These are the extras, Sajad. They were nowhere. Again, high up in the air. It's flying, but definitely will fall in snowman's land. So another run's being taken, but good comeback from Sakir Hossain Munna also. After he was being picked for a fuller length around the off stump line, he just cut his length short and bowled intelligently to concede only 2 or 1. But these are the real extras. 1 to 4 for 9 now. From 96 from 9.
Absolutely. 16 of this over. Last delivery coming up. Aged. Oh my God. Another drop chance. Heritage cricketers, they are leaking some runs here. They are leaking boundaries. They are leaking runs. They are dropping their chances as well. Look at that. It was an easy catch. It was a sitter.
It was surely a dolly for any sort of fielder, Sajjad, but it just being dropped. And this can morally let you down in any sort of match. In the first match of the tournament for your team, you need to take those catches, and you could just calculate how many catches been dropped today by heritage cricketers in the ground. You could easily.
Also, if you talk about the ground fielding,
Yeah, it's been sloppy.
it's been
For
absolutely
surely.
sloppy. Considered 4 6s, dropping catches. Munna denied off his 4th wicket twice in that over.
Overthrows.
Overthrows as well, absolutely. So on field, they were staring down the barrel at one point, losing 9 wickets. They were at risk of folding before 20 overs. Now they have reached that 120 mark. Now into the last over, Loban will be bowling the last one.
So Ridwan hadn't been picked by his captain after conceding 15. So this partnership, 40 runs partnership in 26 deliveries. Brilliant. And another brilliant delivery from Loban. Sohel on strike, but Gaji Shohag would love to be in the striking end.
Absolutely. Sohel should just knock the ball around and give the strike back to Ghazi Shohag. He has been the one who has been successfully hitting the ball out of the park. Once again, beautifully placed in between long on and long off. I thought it would be a single, but it was placed perfectly.
Still, it's a batting wicket, Sajjad, I must believe. And you could see that it should have been stopped. It should have been a dive at the diving end. It could have been stopped there. So Misbah doing that hard thing, but just fall short. So these extras will cost surely for heritage cricketers.
Walking down the pitch for a single. The good thing for on field, Ghazi Sohag, he will be on strike, but Sohel, he played his part as well. Picking up a boundary of the second delivery of this over, then giving the strike back to the more settled batter. Ghazi Sohag will be swinging definitely. They touched the 130 mark. These are very important runs. You never know.
A slower coming.
Yes, it was a slower. It was a Yorker. Ghazi Sohag failed to touch the ball, wanted a single, but Sohel said, no, you be on the strike. You are the set one.
Absolutely. It was a slower incoming one, as I was expected. And yes, it is, because Ghazi Shohak will slash and flash every bit of ball. And if he could get a bit pacey one, it will be an easier one. High up in the air, swept it nice. Is there anybody underneath that? No, it just fall again. A shot from that fielder and conceded 2 important runs. Brilliant running between the wicket.
Pranthor, more than the runs been scored in this last wicket partnership, it will be a huge confidence booster for on field. The situation they were in, once again wide, keeper was untidy, 1 extra run, 2 extra runs. So what I was saying, that this will be a huge confidence booster for the team from the situation they were in, 9 down, below 100, and now they are touching 140th mark, 140, 150. These are the scores, very tricky ones. You never know what will happen.
And remember, Sohel and Ghazi Suhag will be bowling, will be sharing ball, and what a delivery from Loban, but missed it completely. Fumble from the keeper, fumble from the Fielder also, I guess. It will be scored as a boundary. Yes, it is. What an unlucky over for J.N. Loban, conceding a lot of runs and finishing things off, I think, with a boundary.
Yes, untidy from the keeper once again. So the keeper conceded 5 runs in the last 2 deliveries, and on field from nowhere, suddenly they are 138 for 9, and they will feel that this will be enough. At least their bowlers have something to bowl, something to defend. All credits to Sohail and Ghazi Shohag, but the mistakes have been committed by the fielders as well. Heritage cricketers, they should have never let on-field score this much runs. On-field, as we can see, the body languages of the two teams. On-field, definitely, they have the more positive ones. So after 20 overs, on-field, they are 138 for 9. Ghazi Shohag, number 11, being the top scorer. 29 of 15 deliveries, not out. Sohail, number 9, 16 not out from 18 deliveries. Priceless, invaluable runs. Mushfiqur with 26. Akib, the opener, he scored 19. And Saiful Islam, 14. Nothing much to mention from the rest of the batters. In the bowling, Russell and Munna, they picked up 3 wickets each. Munna was expensive but was unlucky as well. Didn't get the support from the fielders, and a wickets each for Imran Parvez, Loban, and Habibur Rahman. So on field, 138 for 9. Heritage cricketers, they will need 7 runs per over, 139 to win for their first game of the tournament. Now we will take a short break and we'll return shortly once the second innings will start. Test cricketers earlier in the morning they won the toss and elected to bowl first. On field, they were in trouble, lost 9 wickets very quickly, and was in danger of being bowled out. They lost the 9 wickets at 85 in the 15th over. But after that, what a brilliant 53 runs partnership between Sohail and Ghazi Sohag. Number 10, number 9 and number 11. They managed to take the score to 138 runs and provided something on the scorecard to defend for the bowlers. Now, heritage cricketers, they have to forget what they did on the field. They missed a few chances, a few dropped opportunities, missed fieldings, went for 4 sixes, extra runs, overthrows, by runs. Now they have to put all of this behind them and concentrate on the batting, concentrate on the required run rate that is close to 7. Tipu Sultan Mahmud, the skipper, will have the ball in his hand, and from the com box, we are here. I am Shazatu Dash, and along with me, Prantor Dash Onai. Prantor, what do you reckon? How heritage cricketers will approach this franchise?
Aggressively, no doubt about that. They are physically a bit down, morally a bit down, definitely for the last wicket partnership. So they should try to get on from the very first delivery, though a defensive one. It was there to be hit. Backup and delivery, it was coming straight, so he could easily just pull that ball. But, well, let's see. You want to have a look of the very first delivery and then try to hit it alongside. So it's a start only, but I definitely would love to have them in a gigantic way.
Threw his bat at it. Way outside off stump, wide signaled. But the interesting thing, that ball kept low, very low, in fact, for a bowler of Tipu Sultan Mahmud's height from good length. That ball never went up.
Yes, and they will definitely throw their bats now and then and will ride their like. Very good fielding, and at the same time, a very good throw to the striking end. Just surprised the batter a bit.
Prantor,
So,
you can already see the difference between the body languages of the teams.
yeah, definitely. Tipu Sultan Mahmud starting the bowling, but I think Ghazi Sohail and Shohag will definitely come on with the ball very soon because they are also pumped up with confidence, sheer confidence. Confidence looking shot from Didar Imran. Chased that ball from outside off and hit it nicely through a cut down to the fence for the first boundary.
It was short, it was wide, a loose delivery from the skipper. Didar threw his bat, it is. One bounce for 4 over extra cover. First runs from Didar Imran's bat. Good comeback from Tipu Sultan.
A rifle approach from Didar Imran. Previous ball hit for a boundary, and after that had an eyeful watch for the next one. Just had his front foot step up, going onto the line of the ball, and just had that defensive looking approach.
Bowled him! Tipu Sultan conceding a boundary, then a dot ball, and now hit the timber. Early success for the skipper. First wicket down for Heritage Cricketers, 5-4-1.
Brilliant bowling. The batter totally missed the line and length, and the line was incoming one from that good length zone, and the batter just tried that defensive one previously, went on for another one, another bigger, but that biggie just costed his wicket away. What a genuinely a good looking incoming one, an effective one for Tipu Sultan Mahmud. First one done, 5-for-1, where Didar Imran got out of bowled after scoring only 4 runs.
He exposed all 3 stumps to the bowler and tried to walk it over the leg side. Missed the line of the ball completely. And Tipu Sultan, he'll enjoy his first success. Brought the first wicket for his team. Going for a boundary. It was a loose delivery. Now, very good comeback from the skipper. Leading from the front. Now, Ziaul Haq Roni, the skipper of Heritage Cricketers. He needs to step up as well. He needs to lead from the front as well. He knows his team is a bit down at this moment. Poor performance when it comes to the ground fielding and catching. But still, the score is very much manageable. 139 on a very good batting surface. The weather condition is also good. It's hot out there, so it will not be very easy for the fielders. But cricket is a mental game. If you walk down earlier on, if you let the opponent get over you, then it will be a difficult task. Tipu Sultan Mahmud. Pish! It is going towards the boundary through the backward point, but it was a pitch. And the backward point fielder, he tried his best.
Upish one and to that fielders down there at the point and backward point. It was a clumsy one, way outside off. It was a teasing one, in fact. And as it is like the past batter, he just chased that ball from the outside off corridor and he was nowhere there, just utilizing the pace and just checked his shot. But it could have been costly. 9 for 1, Heritage Cricketers.
Ziaul Alam Roni, the skipper, picked up his first boundary, a streaky one, played from way outside of the off stump, played away from his body as well. Couldn't control it perfectly, but thankfully for him, it didn't go to the fielder's hands. Top of that, picked up his first boundary, 9 for 1. So it was a 50-50 over, we should say. The first over from Tipu Sultan Mahmud. Conceded 2 boundaries, picked up a wicket as well. So both teams on their way. Spin into the attack, just like the first innings. Short and wide. Protection. The offside. Deep backward point boundary. Habibur Rahman going off the mark from the very first delivery he faced.
Absolutely 130 runs needed now. 129, in fact. Omar Farooq just started the bowling, but as you can see, the confidence is just building up on a high note for the on-field team. Oh, again, a mistimed shot. Just a misjudged one. He was nowhere there onto the line of the ball. Tried that sweep, but you have to give credit to Omar Farooq. While he was expected to bowl a bit short, a bit turning one, he just followed the batter. Brilliantly bowled. Again, a flighted one, a lofted shot, but not that much lofted. Before having only a single down to the long on.
The intentions are pretty clear from Ziaul Alam Roni. Hit a boundary of the very first delivery he faced. Then in this over, tried to slog sweep. Almost lost his wicket.
Again, tried the bigger shot. Tried a biggie. But as you expected from a spinner point of view, the spinner was definitely hitting the deck hard, had that some sort of turn.
Habibur Rahman tried to go over mid-wicket. His feet went nowhere. Now, long off is up.
Again a sweep, but not a half-hearted one. as it was coming straight a bit. No that much lateral movement from the pitch at that time.
Omar Farooq, tight over so far, conceding 3 of the 5 deliveries he bowled.
Whoa, what a delivery from a spinner right under the front foot of the batter with a Yorkish delivery to finish things off. 2 overs gone, 12 for 1, Heritage.
Omar Farooq, the spinner, yorked the opposition skipper Ziaul Alam Rani. The last delivery of the over, Ziaul Alam Rani. So far, he faced 4 deliveries and tried to hit every ball out of the park. Has picked up 1 boundary so far. Heritage cricketers scoring at 6, 12 for 1 after 2. Tipu Sultan Mahmud will continue. Played with softer hands for a single.
Yes, I think their tactics has been changed a bit because they need to rotate the strike to get onto that 139 target. But doing it so, or following that so on, they need to have those over boundaries or boundaries at the same time so that the asking rate won't be getting so much higher from there. And if it goes so, it will be a difficult condition in this time.
Beautifully bowled. Tipu Sultan hitting the deck hard, extracting some extra bounce. Has good height as well as bowler.
Yes, absolutely. As I was talking about the asking rate, they should go for alongside those singles and doubles, the big shots, and that will definitely boost up a bit.
Apish, absolutely mistimed. He was very lucky, Ziaul Alam Rani. We've been talking about it. He's trying to whack almost each and every delivery.
He was nowhere. Look at that ball. A bit good one, a bit good length, but not that much height. It's a bit of flatter one onto that stump. And he was not in the mood to go in the back foot or come in front of that foot to slash that ball or cut that ball towards that round the wicket condition.
Once again, getting the inside edge. It will go for no. There is protection. I thought no one is there patrolling the boundary. He picked up a single, rather a streaky one. Prantor, Ronnie faced 7 deliveries so far. The way he batted, it seemed like he tried to hit 7 boundaries out of those 7 deliveries, but managed only 6 runs.
Yeah, definitely. And that will lower down their confidence a bit. And that edged shot will definitely spread a bit concern.
Good bowling, Tipu Sultan. Good over so far. Only 2 of it. 1 delivery to go.
And from that over lower confidence, definitely Habibur Rahman and Ziaul Alam Rani both have been struggling a bit of scoring runs or scoring those bigger shots because they know 103 balls left now and the runs being scored of 125 odds. So they need to go big from here.
And it went big, but 1 bounce to the fielder. Habibur Rahman tried for an inside out shot over extra cover.
It was a biggie for a single. That's for sure. That much big it was. So they need to find that way, need to find that fine tuning. And it's very much surprising that they have been bowling with their pacers. Not that much spin has been introduced, only a single spinner from the other end. So it's a good tactics to have those slowish delivery or scrumblesome delivery from your pacers to confuse the batters and the crease. 15 for 1 after 3. Heritage.
The last shot of the last delivery in the previous over. It was a result of those accumulated dot deliveries, some tight bowlings, good fielding as well. Heritage cricketers, they are panicking at this moment. Omar Farooq will continue. Slog swept into the gap, will go for a boundary through the square leg region.
Brilliantly played, I must say. Swept it nice. He was very much sure about Omar Farooq's line and length. With that turning around, not that much turn, and for that it skidded on nicely into the bat for having that sweep shot. So it's a good way to utilize that vacant position in the leg side as a right-hander against that lefty.
Once again, lofted shot. It is high and handsome. 4 or 6. 10 of the first 2 deliveries. A bit of counter attack from Habibur Rahman.
Talking about just breaking the shackles, Sajjad. This shackle has been broken so brutally. 10 runs coming from the first 2 deliveries. Any sort of bowler will feel that heat after being hit for 10 runs in the first 2 deliveries. That's a brilliant cricket from Habibur Rahman. 8 balls, 14 runs. But from that perspective, you need to think about stopping him rather going on big.
Absolutely. The pressure will be on the bowler right now, conceding only 3 runs off his first over, and now 10 of the first 2 deliveries of the new over. 25 for 1 Heritage cricketers. Habibur Rahman will feel confident. Going once again uppishly, just over the mid-on fielder, and that ball will roll once again for a boundary.
Look, Sajjad, that happens when you just got hit for a boundary and an over boundary. After that, your fielders will definitely not be in a good mood of your bowling or not in a confidence mood. So that happened for Omar Farooq. And in case of that catch being taken, it would be a very much tricky condition for any sort of bowler to have your fielders boosted up so much after getting hit for those 4, 6, and 4s. So Habibur Rahman is not playing with only the bowlers, but also the fielders.
Quicker delivery. Expensive over from Omar Farooq. 14 conceded, 2 boundaries, 1-6. The required run rate has come down significantly after those hits.
Well, the run is very much gettable from here. 110 from 98 deliveries, lots of wickets left, but you need to be focused. You need to be focused with your bigger shots. Oh,
Once again, quicker delivery. Mix up, and it will be a run out. Ziaul Alam Rani, what have you done? What have you done? There was never a run there. He didn't oblige the call from his partner as well. He didn't wait to see what his partner is doing, how his partner was responding.
a complete mess there by Jalalam Ronnie. He just called him and went on so fast. Just the ball had up above of his head to the bowler at the non-striking end, and it was not his call. It should be from Mohammad Habibur Rahman, who called off very early and called off Ziaul Alam Rani, but Ziaul Alam Rani just didn't bother to get stopped and costed his wicket.
The only problem in that communication was both batters, they were looking at the ball. Rather, they should have had some eye contact with each other and trust the partner. Usually, they say that when the ball goes behind the wickets, is the non-strikers who should call. And from that point of view, Ziaul Alam Rani, he called it, but he was blinded by the wicketkeeper and couldn't judge perfectly that that ball was not very far from the fielder. And that's where the communication gap started, because both batters, they were watching towards the ball. They were watching the ball. There was no communication between them whatsoever. And that brought the run out, a devastating way to get out.
3 wickets holder, Mohammad Ghulam Kabir Rashel, the man with the ball, and now he needs to be the man of the bat for Heritage.
Dot ball 2 and an over. Eventful over for both teams after 4:29 for two Heritage cricketers.
আমি দেখবো যে আমি সিসির কাছে আসতে
আচ্ছা আমি মনে হয় বুঝছি এটা কোন গাড়ি আমি বুঝছি এটা কোন গাড়ি প্রবক্সের মতো গাড়ি না একটা
ছোট্ট একটা মিনিমাম
ছোট্ট হ্যাঁ ওই যে হ্যাঁ তো বুঝছি এটা ম্যাচ করবে ওদের গাড়িটা চিনি আমি এটা হলো ভাড়ার গাড়ি বুঝছেন
স্টিকার লাগানো ক্রিকেট ড্রপ সার্ভিস
মার্কেস ভাই আর কি
একে
fifth over starting in way outside off must be a wide. Yes it is. So then a good start from Tipu Sultan Mahmud.
Tipu Sultan, the skipper, into his third over.
I think you will say Tipu Sultan the warrior like you pronounced it.
He is fighting out there for his team.
Yeah, with the bat, with the ball, definitely. A gentle push, but no runs been scored.
Tipu Sultan being the miserly one from this end, the commentary box end. Into his third over, conceding only 13, picked up a wicket as well.
Brilliantly bowled. Three delivery on the slot from that good length zone, and the batter had that struggle from playing that from that uncertain zone of that outside off.
The strength of Tipu Sultan, that seems to be the right line and length. He's not a very pacey bowler. Just look at that once again. Trying to hit the right channel. Nagging lengths, nagging lines, the batters, they feel that at this pace I should be able to hit it towards the boundary. But if you don't judge well the length, it will cause a problem.
Yeah, you need to just know or informed about your strength, and Tipu Sultan doing the exact thing. He has been hitting that good length zone just outside off and not letting the batter to hit big.
Started with a wide and then 4 dot deliveries on the trot. One expensive over the previous one from Omar Farooq. Otherwise, on field, they are on top. Defending a modest total 138.
A bit of cat and mouse run going on. Got the wrist. The ball is going past. No, the fielder just won the race. But finally, two important runs, two precious runs for Heritage.
That is an evidence, Pranthor, how slow Sultan is. He is generating absolutely no pace for the batter to work with. That ball almost stopped in this outfield.
Last ball, cut it nice, but not that much convincingly. Had a fumble with the communication again, but this time didn't cost any sort of trouble. 32 for two Heritage cricketers after 5.
সেকেন্ড ম্যাচে বুঝবে আজকে খেলো না ভিডিও বানানোর ফ্লোতে যে একটা গ্যাপ করছে না এক সপ্তাহ কালকে আমি আর পারলাম ভিডিও বানানো ওটা আসলে ভিডিওর ভিডিও হারাই গেলে সেই ভিডিও
After having a high and low, there's a change in the bowling. For surely, Omar Farooq was there with the ball in hand from one end, 2 overs 17 runs with no wicket, but Tipu Sultan Mahmud, the captain, 3 overs done and dusted for him, 15 runs for having that one precious wicket. So change in bowling for on-field sports management. Habibur Rahman just showing his class, 12 balls, 18 runs. Shohag with the ball. And by being a very Shohag with the ball, he just let the ball for going for a wide ride.
I think he's a bit tired. He had to bat for a longer time for the tail ender, and he scored some runs as well. So he will say
29 or
that
15.
I have scored some runs. So it's only fair if I give away some of those.
So he gave away 29 runs. He scored basically. So I think he has that sort of luxury. And yes, it is way outside off. It was not a good bowling. It is definitely a bye and went on to that third man region for having that bye 4 runs.
We have seen several bye runs from both teams. That ball just bounced in front of the keeper, not very easy one to take for the wicket keeper. And this pitch has been indicating some low bounce. The batters, they have to be mindful about that as well. Ghazi Shohag, not a good start from him, a wide, then 4 bye runs. Definitely the 4 byes will not be counted on his account, but the team will suffer. The wicketkeeper, he lost his footings, making sure everything is okay. 37 for 202 more needed of 89 balls. Very much gettable. The only question is, how come you'd remain?
Lofted shot. Lofted on drive. It was a bit tricky one for the mid-on fielder. But somehow he stopped that ball at first and then chased it down for having passed that boundary line.
He went for a boundary, but the timing was not spot on. He was lucky enough to clear the mid-on fielder. Otherwise, it could have been an easy catch for a single. Lot of risks been taken. The family members of the cricketers.
Low full toss it was, driven very gently and very surprisingly for a boundary. That sort of calm and quiet shot from Golam Kibriya Rachel.
Beautifully placed, I must say. It was a fuller length delivery. It was a half volley outside the off stump. And it was timed very well, placed very well, through extra cover for a boundary. Remember, this is the last over of the power play. So the batting team would love to capitalize, would love to score as many as they can. 3 deliveries to go. It's a good start for the run chase.
Definitely 97 requires now of 87 deliveries. Outside off a bit of good length, a bit of uppish one from that height of the batter.
42 for 2 so far. 97 of 86, very much manageable. The required rate, yes, they panicked a bit. The first 3 overs, they were tight from on field. They lost an early wicket. Then the skipper as well, in the form of run out.
Way outside off. A tempting cover drive been offered, but a good delivery from Shohag.
It was a loose shot from Russell. It was outside off stump, left arm pacer over the wicket. The natural angle of the ball made the ball go away from the batter, and the batter tried to throw his arms playing away from the body. It was a risky shot always.
Last ball left nicely, like a test style. 42 for 2 after 6. The power play is done and dusted. So an equality, I think, been maintained by both of the teams.
Both camps would be very happy how the power play proceeded for them. Heritage cricketers, they maintained the required run rate. They needed 7 per over. They have scored 7 per over in the power play, but in the course they have lost 2 wickets as well. And that is where Tipu Sultan, he feels that he needs to finish his spell on the trot. He has bowled beautifully, tied one end up, considered only 15 of his 3 overs. He will look for another wicket in his last over. Once again, that ball kept low.
Yeah, the pitch is behaving a bit surprising element. A surprising one indeed, because it's been kept it very low, a bit slower side at 1.
Good running between the wicket, putting pressure on the fielder, and the fielder reacted that way as well. Couldn't pick up the ball at all.
Yeah, you could see the slowishness. You look at the ball just coming slow a bit into the bats, and that's the main reason they are not going for high shots very often, and they have been concentrating in getting those singles and doubles, and the sloppy fielding definitely allowing them to have those tricky runs. Look at that, 96 requires of 82 deliveries. So from this angle, you could see this match as a runnable match.
Once again, tempting the batter, go at the ball outside of stump. Fortunately for Russell, didn't kiss the bat. He is struggling a bit, scoring only 6 of 11 deliveries.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is the phase where you could definitely go for higher shots, or at least those singles converting into doubles, because power play is gone. Now you're free throw to hit that ball. That's a brilliantly played shot. Upish it was, and just hammered away through that long on boundary.
The best part of that shot was the timing. It was bowled at a fuller length. Just look at that, a pickup shot. He didn't try to hit the ball hard at all. Just timing all the way. Absolutely brilliant shot. Tipu Sultan will feel the pressure. How will he come back? Brilliantly. Just like he did in the earlier overs after being hit for a boundary.
Just increased his pace a bit from the earlier delivery, I must say, Sajjad, because it was at the same arc, the hitting arc, but what happened that moment, it just got a bit of slow to pick it early.
Last delivery coming up. Dot ball to end the over. Beautifully bowled. Tipu Sultan. Good spell from him. 22 for 1 off his 4 overs. 49 for 2. Heritage cricketers after 7. Heritage cricketers keeping the run rate under control. 49 for 2 after 7, chasing 139. They are looking comfortable out there. It is a bright sunny day, but not very uncomfortable for the players. Gentle breeze going around across the ground. Plenty of empty spaces, open spaces in this venue around the field, letting the breeze passing away, making it comfortable for the players. What a beautiful ground it is. What a beautiful pitch it is to play some cricket. Huirgao Krida Shiksha Pratishthan. Change in the bowling. No, Omar Farooq has been brought back. Single of the first delivery.
Yeah, very interesting move from Tipu Sultan Mahmud, bringing back Omar Farooq in again. Or it is, I think it is Ghazi Shohag. Yes, it's Ghazi Shohag. Beg your pardon. Again, a change is Abdul Rahman. So a technical glitch allowed them to just changing the name of the bowlers.
They all look the same. Abdur Rahman and
Yeah,
Omar Farooq, left arm
Ghazi,
bowlers,
Sohail.
left arm spinners. They are not very heavily built, not very high players. They look all the same. Abdur Rahman conceding 2 singles from the first deliveries, now a dot ball. So good start for him.
So you could
Meanwhile,
see, yeah,
Heritage cricketers, they reached the 50-run mark.
absolutely. Meanwhile, you could see that fielding position, two fielders converging in through that gully and backward point region to stop that boundary. And the bowler definitely targeting that off stump line to go back-footed shot, back-footed cut. But he has been very much consistent with his line and length onto that targeting that off stump region.
Forceful shot. There is a protection out there, backward, deep backward point for a very good running between the wicket. I was about to say for a single, but they stole another run. Excellent.
Excellent running between the wicket. They just got the fielder a bit confusing. It was their fumble, and for that fumble, I guess the throw wasn't accurate towards the bowler.
Quicker delivery single to end the over. 54 for 2 after 8.
ভাই আমাদের আমাদের জার্সি ক্যাপ কই ওগুলো?
এগুলো তো আমার কিছুই বলে নাই।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ কম কি তারেকটাই কইছিল।
এগুলোর সঙ্গে কথা বললে এগুলো হ্যান্ডসাপ থেকে আসে।
ইলেভেন ভাই কি উঠেছিলেন? দেখুন ভাই মনে হয় ওদিকে।
তো ওখানে জব করে না?
হ্যাঁ। With that bowling change, Akib coming in. "54 on board for Heritage cricketers. 85 requires now from 72 deliveries. It will be a tricky chase. The required run rate 7.08, and the current one is just reaching onto that mark. Not a good delivery to start on. Straight it is. Straight like an arrow to get past that straightish boundary for a maximum.
The tight over before from Abdur Rahman that put the batting team under some pressure, and the pressure was released on the very first delivery of the new over. It was a half volley. It was on a bowled on a fuller length by Akib, and Habibur Rahman, he picked up Beautifully hit six. Now once again, the bowler will be under pressure conceding a six on the first delivery of the over.
For surely. Again, similar kind of delivery. Inside out, lofted. It is going to the deeper one. But this time only for a couple of runs. Yes, it is. So not a good start from Akib. Bowling at the same line and length at the same zone, Sajjad.
They need to pick up Habibur Rahman. Habibur Rahman, he is looking very good. He is looking threatening. He is looking to take the game away from the opponent on field. If they want to come back, they need to come back strongly and they need to pick up Habibur Rahman.
Oh, again a loosener. Almost a loosener, but very much lucky to get away with that. With a dot. With only a dot.
Full toss. Missed out. Definitely the batter will feel he missed out. Akib making a comeback after being hit for a six.
I think they are targeting Akib from nowhere. Going back footed, a bit gentle cut. And they have been targeting Akib for that mammoth six from the very first delivery. But at the same time, you need to give credit to Akib to come back strongly.
Brilliantly bowled. Only 9 of the over. I am using the word only because he was being hit for a 6 on the very first ball of this over. 63 for 2 after 9, Heritage cricketers.
Nine overs gone, 63 for 2. 76 now requires of 66 deliveries. So now the current run rate and required run rate just sweeps their position in between. So now 7 per over, while requires only 6.7, almost 7 per over. Gentle cut, a late cut, just didn't cost any sort of runs for on field.
Abdur Rahman bowling a tight line and length, considered only 5 runs in his first over. Once again, a dot ball to start with.
Oh, that's very much plumb, I guess, but just missing the leg stump a bit. For that reason, the appeal turned down.
It was a quicker delivery. It went with the arm, hit the pad, probably missing the leg stumps. Abdur Rahman, 2 dot deliveries to start this over.
A bit of adjustment now for Abdur Rahman. Brilliant start of the over. 2 dot balls in a row. Again, just following the batter. Brilliant sort of bowling from Abdur Rahman.
Dot single. Still, the required run rate is very much under control, but 1 or 2 tight overs, you never know. The batters will start to panic. Habibur Rahman, he's been hitting it very well, scoring 32 of 25 deliveries. Now he will be on strike.
Oh, another quicker one. Quicker armor. That corridor of uncertainty pushed Habibur Rahman onto his back, but ultimately ended up with no result. High pickup shot it was. But from that deep mid, only a single been taken.
What an over. What an over. Abdur Rahman. I feel something is around the corner. Maybe a wicket on something of that sort. Russell will be facing the last delivery.
Brilliantly bowled. Flatter, quicker it is. Ended up with a dot. 65 for 2. Just 2 runs came in after 10. We are half of the way in this innings. So 74 requires now of 60 deliveries.
The good thing so far for Heritage cricketers in this innings, in this run chase, is they have wickets in their hands. Yes, Golab Kabir Russell, he is struggling a bit, 15 of 21 deliveries. But Habibur Rahman, he is trying to cover it up from the other end. Most importantly, they have been trying to articulate this innings together. And if you have wickets in hand, a higher run rate should be achievable. Oh, it was a full toss. It was a drop chance. Habibur Rahman, his eyes lit up seeing that full toss.
Couldn't just utilize it properly. Not just middled properly. And almost just sacrificed his wicket.
Beautifully bowled once again from Akib. Ghulam Kabir Russell, he needs to keep the scoreboard ticking. He needs to rotate the strike.
Absolutely, Sajjad. Why I use the word sacrificed? Almost sacrificed his wicket, because at the other end, Ghulam Kabir Russell not putting up a good show. That's a good shot. Went on to back foot. Russell at the last time, I guess, got that luck on his way for a boundary. Just a fumble at the cow corner region and get past the boundary line.
The fielding has not been top notch from both of the teams. Maybe the nervousness of the first game of the tournament. It's a long tournament. But you'd want to start on a good note, on a positive note. Ah, what was that? What type of shot was that? It was way outside off stump. He were nowhere near the ball and he tried to work it over mid wicket.
I think that same old sickness of the batters of dragging or playing across the spin or against the spin, against the turn, like you have your ball coming onto that off stump region. So why you are dragging that so much forcefully for that leg side shot? So that's the reason why they are lagging runs.
Now, is that a catch? Is that going to be a catch? No, it didn't carry. Single to end the over. 7 of it, 9 only of the last 2 overs. Look at that. It was bowled at a fuller length. The batter once again tried to hit it out of the park, tried to hit it powerfully rather than timing it. That's why it got the elevation. Fortunately for him, it didn't carry towards the fielder. It was timed so badly that actually worked in his favor.
Yes, absolutely. And it was gone so high up in the air that the fielder needed to first focus on it and then come around with a long run ahead from the position. And that's the benefit taken by Ghulam Kabir Russell of completing that single in the very last ball. So 7 runs coming into the last over. Omar Farooq again coming back in, 2 over 17 runs, a bit costly, Sajjad, but they need to rely on or invest on their spinners like the heritage cricketers did the exact thing while bowling.
Omar Farooq had only one bad over that made his once again misfielded. It will go for a boundary. We've been talking about the standard of fielding has not been up to the mark so far.
For both of the teams, you could see heritage cricketers in the first innings, in their fielding innings, that they miss a lot There was a lot, and the same time, on field, into the field, they have been a bit sloppy with the fielding. So Omar Farooq just feel unlucky. So considered a boundary in the very first delivery.
I think they are starting to feel the pressure. They have realized that this partnership is going on nicely. Both batters, they are well set. 47 runs partnership from 45 deliveries with this dot ball. They have been managed to bowl some dot deliveries, but failed to capitalize on the one opportunity they had of Akib's own bowling. He dropped a catch.
At the same time, you have to give credit to head cricketers batters, especially these two batters. They have been building this partnership with a runner ball approach. And look at that. At the same time, while I was talking about the runner ball partnership, they have snatched a single from nowhere, closing down there at the field to that short cover or cover point.
4.1. 3 balls bowled in this over. And another dot. It was a beautifully bowled delivery once again from Omar Farooq.
And he smiled after appealing that because he knew that there's a bat involved a bit, and the umpire just signaled that, and the appeal just eventually turned down by the umpire.
Flighted one. There was an afterthought from Omar Farooq that whether to go for appeal or not.
So much half-hearted appeals all around. Look at that. The ball is no problem. It's flighted. It's been drifting in front of the pads of the batter, and he was not that much in confidence while appealing.
Once again, brilliant over. Oh, where are the fielders? No one was there. They stole a single, but considered only 6 after being hit for a boundary the very first ball. 78 for 2 after 12. It's been a hot day out here at PKSP. Watermen from both teams have been very busy bringing drinks for the players in between overs, taking regular intervals, making the game linger a bit.
I think we are in that sort of condition in this season, Sajjad, where the winter is trying to come a bit, but the sunshine is not letting it to come by properly. So for that reason, you could feel that 29 degrees Celsius or 30 degrees Celsius, but you could feel the heat at the same time.
Absolutely. It's been a comfortable weather for the uh, fielders, for the batters, for the umpires as well.
But it's being told that this is the best weather to play cricket around.
Absolutely.
No threat of rains, no threat of foggy weather. So you could clearly see the ball, clearly see the fielding positions, and no threat of rain. So no calculations going on in your mind with those DLS methods.
Pace into the attack. Ghazi Shohag. Beautifully hit, but straight into the hands of the fielder. It seemed like he hit it well. It was bowled at a fuller length, outside of stump. He tried to went over extra cover, sliced it, and only managed to the fielder fielding at backward point.
It was a trap. You could see that way outside off. The batter needed to adjust his stance and adjust his approach but finally he just could go on to the trap of the bowler, and the fielder was placed perfectly in the deep point region. A very timely breakthrough for on-field sports management. 78 for 3. Heritage cricketers now. It's a very much decisive moment of the game where the game condition can move along to any side.
Ghazi Shohak, finally he broke the 49 runs partnership. But you need to give credit to the spinners as well. Abdur Rahman, Akib, Omar Farooq. They have been putting the batting team under some pressure, bowling those dot deliveries, bowling those tight overs. The moment the batters saw a pace bowler in operation, a fuller length ball outside off stump, he went at it and lost his wicket. 78 for 3, 61 more required. Mahir Shihab is the new batter, right-handed batter. It will be very interesting to see how much time he will be needing to get set and score some runs. Ghazi Shohak once again going with the angle, good fielding, relayed toward the backwards point fielder for a single.
Yeah, I could see the foot movement of Mahir Shihab just following the bowler, having his feet movement very well, but good effort in the fielding at the last time. A relay fielding down there, and Mahir Shihab started off with a single. Now Habibur Rahman needs to accelerate at the same point, balance.
Good delivery. It was stump to stump bowling.
That's the balance I was talking about, Sajjad. You need to anchor this innings. You need to go big at the same time. You need to play sensibly, because taking those singles and doubles, with those singles and doubles, you need to just go on ticking the scoreboard a bit and ease or release the pressure of your required run rate, which climbs up now to 8 runs per over.
A big shot was coming, and Habibur Rahman, he lost his wicket as well. On field, came back into this game strongly. Ghazi Shohak picking up his second wickets of this over. Now, Heritage cricketers, they will be under pressure.
Oh my God, that was a precious wicket, I must say, by on-field sports management, and this game is definitely have some spices down under. Another trap for Habibur outside off, and Ghazi Shohak alongside other bowlers have been trying that blind zone or that teasing zone for the batters to go big or to go blind sometimes and hit those balls out of the park, trying those big shots and just falling to the trap of the fielding side. But a good catch was needed there, and finally they can say something about that, Sajjad. 2 wickets and it's over.
What an over from Ghazi Shohak into his second over, considered only 7. In total, in this over, he considered only 1 and picked up 2 set batters in space of 4 deliveries. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And an inspired bowling change from Tipu Sultan Mahmud. All wickets so far went to the Pacers' way, 3 wickets. Ghazi Shohak picked up 2. Tipu Sultan Mahmud, the skipper, he picked up 1 and 1 to the run out. Now Heritage cricketers, they are under some pressure. 2 new batters at the crease. Shahid Ibn Alam. They don't have much time to get set. Ghazi Shohak changing the angle, coming around the wicket. Pushed towards the offside for a single.
Now, a big setback for Heritage cricketers, I must say, because 2 new batters in the crease and you need to rebuild yourself. But from the context of the game, it's 43 balls remaining now, and the required rate, the asking rate, just climbing up and up in each delivery. 8.23 now. 59 requires a 43. Not that much tough, but if you lose wicket in this sort of regular interval, it might get difficult.
End of a successful over from Ghazi Shoha. 2 wickets from this over. Once again, little misunderstanding between the bowlers. Between the batters, they already have had a run out. The last thing they need, another wicket. Up to 10th over, Pranthor, Heritage cricketers, they were on course. They were cruising along, 65 for 2. But look what happened in the last 3 overs. 15 runs and 2 wickets going to Ghazi Shohar. On field, getting back into the game big time.
I think it's a span of those 4 deliveries in the previous over. And those 4 deliveries costed only a single but 2 important wickets. That's how T20 being rolled on in a specific time, in specific period of time where you just don't know where you lose the momentum. And that was the occasion where Heritage cricketers just lost their momentum a bit, but you never know. It's 42 balls remaining now. The required run rate is kind of 8.5 per overs. But if you have 2 to 3 balls, a happening one with boundaries and over boundaries, you never know. But a good delivery from Dilwar Hussain coming for the first time, just hitting outside offline with a slower one and confusing the batter Shahid Ibn Alam.
The success from the Pacers motivated, inspired Tipu Sultan to introduce another one in the 14th over of the innings.
Another one. Another single around that point on the point region.
Heritage cricketers, they need one big over. They need to gain some momentum back into this innings. They need some rhythm to get going. As we were discussing about it, they were cruising along 65 for 2 after the first 10 overs. Then 2 tight overs from the spinners, Akib and Omar Farooq. Then the magical over from Ghazi Sohel, picking up 2 set batters. Slower delivery. Did it touch the bowler's hand?
They were appealing and they were appealing to everything. Now, look at that, another slower delivery. And you was talking about, oh, I think there had a reflection. I think, but the umpire had the last dance with that decision. But they are throwing their everything in every deliveries. And why not? They have a chance now to choke Heritage cricketers from here on. And they have been doing the same thing. So the Pacers doing the trick with their slower deliveries, the cutter, the slower, and that has been very much decisive for this. So this decisive factor must be carried on from here on to get some sort of advantage, Sajjad, of the pitch.
Delwar Hussain, 3 balls, considered only a single. Now a big shot, fielders underneath it, and a dropped one. It was a high catch. It's not something a bowler would have want. He fooled the batter once again.
Look at the ping pong drop. Oh my God. His hands were nowhere, I guess, underneath the ball. Kind of slippery hands. And that's not expected from a side which has been on top for last few overs. So you need to take those catches. But the tactics are very much clear. Bowl those slower deliveries, bowl onto the slot of off stump.
And try to extract anything out of the pitch. If there is any assistance like that, odd bounce onto the body.
Not allowing an extra room, Sajjad. That's been key. That's been key in the last few overs. They have been executing these sort of tactics very well and restricting the batters to go big, tempting them in each delivery and getting few opportunities to grab another wicket.
Going for a big shot into the gap. Some fancy footwork saved the boundary, certainly. Brilliantly fielded. Once again, a very good over from Delwal. Let's have a look at it. It was hit hard, it was hit into the gap, but the fielder was up to the task. A breath of fresh air for us, Prantor, who have been witnessing so many mistakes on the field. Now, some good fielding to our delight.
Absolutely. One ball left. Seems like to be. The bowler still down there, but I guess the over is gone. They have been checking that. And yes, is left with another ball. So some sort of effort in the fielding definitely will pump up the on-field sports management.
Directing would have been very directed would have been very interesting. But the single to end the over. Finally, the 14th ended 85 for 4. "20 runs for the loss of two set batters in the last 4 overs. Heritage cricketers losing their way. We already have players waiting outside the boundary for the next game between BMC and Dhaka Nawabs. It will be another exciting match. We will be with you for 2 games each day for the 10th edition of Gold KINEN Presents TK Corporate T20 Cricket Tournament 2024-25. With each year, it's getting big and bigger in stature.
Absolutely, 20 teams participating in this lucrative tournament. TK Sports, they have been in the corporate arena for a few years now. And for a few years, it's getting grandier. Definitely, you must remember the last season finale where Habibul Bashar Shumon came in for the presentation ceremony. And we had with us Mr. Mahfouz, the current secretary advisor of the youth advisor. Went for the big shot, nowhere there for that pull. Another slower, another deceiving slower from Ghazi Shuhag.
The required run rate is now 9 plus. Ghazi Shohak picked up 2 very important wickets in his previous over. Both set batters. Shahid Ibn Alam tried to whack it over the mid-wicket region. .09, the asking rate.
Climbing up, and they have been missing. They have been missing each and every deliveries now. The flatter one from Ghazi Shuhag.
Pranthor, I'm afraid this is not a good option. This is not an intelligent option from the batter. The bowler, the left arm seamer, he is bowling with the angle from over the wicket. And the angle is always taking the ball away from the batter. So better try to hit it through the offside. Just like that.
A bit uppish, but it just finally ended up the drought of runs with only a single though, but this has been a key what Sajat you were talking about. Just fetch those singles and doubles and pick the right ball to go big.
There were too many dot deliveries for my liking, to be very honest. Yes, the odd boundaries they came at regular intervals, but not regular enough to cover up those dot balls. Chipped for another single.
Not a good shot to score runs, and they have been lagging. They have been lagging behind. 88 now on board. They requires 51 runs in 32 deliveries. And if you just have a look to the DL score at this moment is 96. So they have been lagging behind 8 runs at least from here to get past that 139 run.
Top edge. Fielder will be interested, but he was late to reach the ball and finally had to dive forward. Another drop chance, another dropped opportunity.
A bit tough one now, Sajad, I guess. It was a top edge high up in the air, and the deep third fielder was interested about that, and he stretched on full to take that catch, but it was too way much difficult in comparison to those catches, those missed catches that could have been taken.
Last ball coming up. Appeal, probably pitching outside leg stump that saved the batter. Nevertheless, once again, a brilliant over. Ghazi Shohak conceding only 5. Look at that. Probably it was pitching outside the leg stump. 90 for 4 after 15. Only 25 runs came in the last 5 overs. Prantor, Heritage cricketers, they are losing their way.
Absolutely, the momentum, the rhythm, everything they are losing now for the cause of winning this match. So that's not appropriate one from them. And from their point of view, the partnership is currently on 11 of 14 deliveries. So if you are facing 14 deliveries from both ends, I guess you need to score at least 20 odd runs from there to match your required run rate, which has been falling apart every time. It's 9.8, almost a 10 runs per over required run rate at this moment.
Abdur Rahman. Short, pulled away. Oh, that is brilliant. That is brilliant. Yes, you might say it's been dropped once again, but he saved 6 runs. He was running outside the boundary. Let's have a look. In the mid-wicket region, yes, that was clean. That was clean from the fielder. Clearly saved 5 runs for his teams. 5 invaluable runs.
Unbelievable. You see some sloppy fieldings, but at the same time, you can see that brilliant approach. Another brilliant delivery from Abdur Rahman. Quicker up in the air. It's an armor. And missed that sweep shot completely. So a dot. So a single and a dot. Not serving the cause Sajjad properly to win the match from here.
Abdur Rahman once again played across the line for a single. Abdur Rahman couldn't manage to pick up a wicket so far, but my word, he's been so miserly so far. 9 runs conceded only from 2.3 overs. And he's the one bowler who started building the pressure and now continuing to do so. Once again, trying to walk it over the leg side, over the mid wicket region, only managed it for a dot ball.
Play and miss. Play and miss. It's a binary going on 1-0, 1-0. So again, you could expect another single. Yes, it is. It's so much predicted for the Heritage. It's a fumble. It's a fumble, but just didn't let the batters to break that binary shackle. You could go for another run. You could take another risk. These short things definitely will impact the match. Last ball remaining now of the 16th over.
Abdur Rahman once again with a tight over, 3 conceded. Last ball to go. Mahir Shiab, he has to go for a big shot. He has to target a boundary. Couldn't manage it. Couldn't manage it. Once again, dot to end the over. 16 gone, 93 for 4.
'93 for 4. Heritage cricketers just falling behind in every over. 16 over gone, just 4 overs remaining, and look at the current run rate. Just dropped by 5.81 now per over, and the required rate just climbed up more than 11. So you need one big over, one really big over. You need to just go biggie, not the big. It's a big, it must be a biggie one. From Abdur Rahman's last over, beg your pardon, Omar Farooq's over. So you can target Shahid Ibn Alam. You may target Omar Farooq, who just gave away 23 runs in a 3-over spell. And this should be the over to score a few runs to match, I guess, that required run rate from here. Shahid Ibn Alam on strike. A bit of change in the fielding for him. Flighted high up in the air, misjudged and mistimed. A top edge went onto that short third, and another wicket down now. Omar Farooq, who licked run, now he got the wicket of Shahid Ibn Alam.
It was on the cards, Prantor. It was on the cards. It was coming. For the last 6 overs on field, they have been absolutely on top. And the pressure finally got the better of the batter. Pressure of dot balls, pressure of the required run rate. You can see it's touching almost 12. And Shahid bin Alam losing his wicket. Tried to hit it hard, once again losing his shape. Only managed an edge to the short third fielder. 93 for 5 Heritage cricketers. At one time they were cruising along. 65 for 2 in the first 10 overs. But then, till the 10th over, from the next 37 deliveries, they have scored only 28 runs and lost 3 wickets.
3 quick and key wickets. That's the difference between these two teams. They have lost 3 wickets, but those 3 wickets came on in a frequent manner in the span of, I guess, 7 to 8 deliveries, and that costed their momentum. Newman in Arif with the bat, with Mahir Shihab, another side. So they need to go something around the wicket of having those 6s and 4s. So another run, only a dot off the mark. Arif immediately. And those 6 and 4s need to come as early as possible, because the required run rate is just getting out of their hand. So another run, another forceful run, I have to say, because they are not getting those boundaries and over boundaries, and that's a pressure what is mounting up. Played and miss, another played and miss. They are nowhere of scoring these runs now. It seems a bit tricky, a bit tough one for Heritage Cricketers. The pitch is just getting on to a dead side for them. High up in the air, another catch. And now they are getting with their golden arms for having another wicket. 6 down now. Arif goes. Sajjad, I think it's the dead end for them.
On field, they are hunting in pairs. Ghazi Shohag, he picked up 2 wickets in 1 over. Now it's Omar Farooq's turn to pick up 2 more wickets in 1 over. Now, unfortunately for Heritage Cricketers, we can see the end of the road for them. Sixth wicket down for 95. 44 needed of 19 balls. Now they need a miracle. They need a miraculous innings from someone. Who would be that better? Mahir Shihab or the newer one? Omar Farooq will bowl his last ball.
Brilliantly bowled that arm delivery that came straight to the new man, Muhammad Rashidul. So only a single been scored, 96 for 6 after 17. They are in a spot of bother now. 43 requires of 18. 18 deliveries. New over starting in. Abdur Rahman with his last over. 10 runs only in his 3 overs. What a spell of bowling. And that allowed the other bowlers to roll on to the batting unit of Heritage Cricketers. Single been taken from the first delivery. Singles and doubles won't damage that much. Tried that cut shot. We all thought it went on to that boundary line. But what a delivery from Abdur Rahman. They have been hitting the deck hard. Remember, they're the spinners, but they have been bowling in their full strength, hitting the pitch out of the park with their strong throw with the ball in the pitch to have the drift for every batters to make their life difficult. Sloppy one, a bicycle, no. That's a wide been called at first, and then a bye run's been scored. Yes, one and then a wide. So 2 lucky runs, 99 on board now. Played and miss again. What a delivery. Flatter one, quicker one at the same time. And the batter just misjudged it.
Prantor, we would be talking about the spells Ghazi Shohag bowled and Omar Farooq bowled. But you can never forget the contribution from Abdur Rahman. Look at his bowling figures. Considered only 13, not a single loose over, 4 tight overs that put the opposition under huge pressure. I don't remember him conceding a boundary. Abdur Rahman, absolutely on top. Yes, he couldn't pick up a wicket, but I think he is the one who exerted the pressure onto the opposition, and the opposition crumbled under that.
Yes, I was talking about the same because from one end he was just creating pressure, increasing one, and from the other end, the other bowlers took that advantage of having those wickets, and that's how the bowling unit just responded the situation very well. Only a single to finish things off. 18th gone. It's 101 for 6 Heritage cricketers.
Cash prize by SPZ Grand Agro. Ah, what it over extra cover. Where did that came from? Ghazi Shohag has been dismantled, has been dismissed. Brilliant, brilliant shot from Mahir Shihab.
It was a rocket. It was a rocket indeed. Diwali gone, but the rockets are still on at the ground. Let's see Mahir Shihab if he can pull this game out from the grasp of on-field sports management. What a shot. It was a statement that I will go big. I will go big definitely. It was wide outside off. It was there to be hit, but you need to have that courage of clearing that deep cover point region because the fielder was set there. If you just mistimed that shot, you could have gone. So what a shot it was from Mahir Shihab. Just looking onto the field setup, a bit of change in the fielding.
Once again, tried to clear his front leg and work it over the leg side. The mid wicket boundary he targeted, but managed only a single.
That's why he was trying to pull that hard, pull that very hard, like his shot earlier for a 6. A brilliant play, I must say. 10 balls, 31 runs. That's the ball. That's the ball. On-field sports management team was looking from Ghazi Shohag because it was slower. It was a length one, and it was a tight line and length for the batter. And for that reason, he had no room to spare that shot towards anywhere. 108 for 6 now. 9 balls, 31 runs. So you need at least 6 over boundaries from these 9 deliveries. Could never be late from here. Another change in fielding. Yes, it is from the backward square leg to square leg for that back of a length or that pull shot. Again, play and miss. He was nowhere, Mohammad Rashidul. Why you were just spoiling that party of my Shihab? Just take those singles, give back the strike to him, and see the rest.
Brilliantly bowled from Ghazi Shohag. Yes, he's been hit for a 6 in the first ball, then a single, then 2 dot deliveries. And now the required run rate is getting further away from Heritage cricketers. It's becoming near to impossible. Making some room, pulled it away. Good fielding at the mid wicket region. Only a single. Singles won't hurt on field.
That could have been a double, but he had no confidence, I guess. for keeping the strike to beam. And for that reason, I guess, he left in the midway for having only a single. 109 runs now. The last ball. What can Mahesh Shihab do?
Whack it over square leg. It will go for a boundary. Is it too little, too late?
I guess, Sajjad. Look at the shot. Just went onto his back foot, had the trigger movement, and picked the ball from that out of off stump brilliantly with the wrist work for a boundary. One drop, 4 runs for Mahesh Shihab. Last penultimate over left in this match. 26 requires from 6 deliveries. Keeping the uncertainty of cricket aside, we can easily say that this match belongs to on-field sports management, Sajjad.
Absolutely not a last, not a last good outing in the last tournament, but picking up their win probably in the very first game this year was not flawless. They were down and out, 85 for 9 from them. Ghazi Sohel and Shohag made a 53 runs, 53 unbeaten runs partnership for the last wicket. And Heritage cricketers, they will wonder if they would have taken their chances, if they could hold on to the catches they were offered, the results might have been different.
25 runs now from 5. So somehow, I guess Mohammad Rashidul managed to rotate the strike back to Mahesh Shihab, who has been in tremendous touch for last few deliveries. So how long they can stretch these things ahead from here? Mahesh Shihab. That's the shot. A back-footed straight drive. High up in the air. I guess another fumble, but Mahesh Shihab stopped Mohammad Rashidul from crossing him for a single. So a precious dot. So the game is pretty much done and dusted, I guess, from here. Slower one, high up in the air. It's a pull. Is there anybody down there? Only except the groundsman for a 6. It's been late. But you are missing a calculation. 3 balls left, 19 runs to score. If Mahir Shihab hit another 3 sixes, the match will be tied. Oh, clever, very clever bowling from Delwar Hussain. And that's it, I guess. The end for Heritage cricketers. Delwar saw Mahir Shihab dancing down the track for another 6, and cleverly he just pitched the ball onto the full outside of went in vain, that single. So now on-field sports management can breathe easy, can feel the better way. It's game for the on-field sports management from here. Last ball from Delwar. Oh, it's kind of a bit late celebration for on-field sports management for having that wide by Delaware. But you have to say, scintillating performance from on-field sports management. They were on top with the ball and with the last wicket partnership. And that's it. A wide Yorker outside off finishes things off for Heritage cricketers. They fall short of 16 runs. And by that, The on-field sports management winning this match by 15 runs, and that's a pretty much good margin in this match to winning this context from there, from a blind zone. And after was 96 or 83 for 9, I guess, the 53 runs partnership. That was the key, definitely. So losing the toss, batting first, on-field sports management scored 138 for 9 within 20 overs. And chasing down 139, Heritage cricketers just stopped onto 122 runs for the loss of 6 wickets after playing full 20 overs quota. With Habibur Rahman, 34 balls 40, they were in a very good position for some time, 65 for 2 after 10, but after having that partnership, they just broke and broke very brutally. No one scored that sort of runs after that, and they fall short for 15 runs. So we're just finishing the live broadcast here with the live commentary. We will just be heading towards the ground for the post-match presentation where Sajjad Udash is waiting with the man of the match.
রিসিভারটা লাগবে না তো ক্যামেরায় না দিলেও ক্যামেরায় আমি ক্যামেরায় লাগা ভালো ভালো সাউন্ড হয় হুম? না না আরে মিয়া ক্যামেরাটা বন্ধ করে রাখ ক্যামেরা বন্ধ করে রাখ বন্ধ করে হচ্ছে অন করে
এখন তো ঠিক আছে দেন হ্যালো
রোদে না Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the post-match presentation এবং ম্যাচ 3 একটু আগে শেষ হয়ে গেছে of Gold Kinan Presents TK Corporate T20 Cricket Tournament 2024-25 সিজন 10 যেই খেলাটাতে অন ফিল্ড 138 রানের একটা মডেস্ট টোটালকে ডিফেন্ড করে 16 রানে কিন্তু ম্যাচটা তারা জিতে নিয়েছে। আজকে এই মুহূর্তে প্রথমে আমরা দুজন ক্যাপ্টেনের সাথে একটু কথা বলবো এবং প্রথমেই ডাকছি হেরিটেজ ক্রিকেটার্স এর অধিনায়ক মিস্টার জিয়াউল আলম রনিকে। মানে হার্ড লাক, ডেফিনেটলি যেভাবে ম্যাচটা জিততে চেয়েছিলেন সেভাবে পারেননি, টসটা যদিও আপনি জিতেছিলেন, বাট একটা পর্যায়ে আপনারা 9টা উইকেট তুলে নিয়েছিলেন 85 রানসের আশেপাশে। ডু ইউ থিঙ্ক যে একটু বেশি রান লিক হয়ে গেছে পরে?
রান লিখের থেকে আমাদের যে ফিল্ডিংটা, যেটা হচ্ছে ফার্স্ট ম্যাচে আমরা বলছি যে সবার ফর্ম কিভাবে আমরা জানি না, এর জন্য আমরা সেফ খেলতে চেষ্টা করেছি। অ্যান্ড লেটস সি যে ওই আমরা ভিতরে গিয়ে যে ফিল্ডিং এফার্টটা দরকার ছিল সেটা আমরা পাইনি।
ডেফিনেটলি, বাট এরপরে আমরা যদি আবার আপনাদের ব্যাটিং এর দিকেও তাকাই, প্রথম 10 ওভার পর্যন্ত ইউ আর ওয়েল অ্যান্ড ট্রুলি ইন দ্য গেম, বাট তারপরে ইউ লস্ট ইউর ওয়ে।
এটাই হয়, দিস ইজ গেম অফ ক্রিকেট, এরকমই হয়। একসময় মনে হবে যে এক টিম জিতছে, পরে দ্য ওয়ে দে কেম ব্যাক ওয়াজ ট্রুলি আনবিলিভেবল।
অ্যাবসলিউটলি হার্ড লাক, প্রথম ম্যাচটা হেরেছেন, বাট লং টুর্নামেন্ট টু গো, সামনের ম্যাচে নিশ্চয়ই ভালো করতে যাবেন এবং লটস অফ পজিটিভস টু টেক অ্যাওয়ে ফ্রম দিস গেম।
ডেফিনেটলি ডেফিনেটলি আমরা এখন আজকে খেলার পর বুঝতে পারছি যে আমাদের রাইট কম্বিনেশন কোথায় কি কি চেঞ্জ করা দরকার, অ্যান্ড দ্য ওয়ে আজকের ম্যাচটা হয়েছে এটার থেকে আমরা প্রোগ্রেস করার চেষ্টা করব।
ওকে রনি, হার্ড লাক ফর টুডে, বাট বেস্ট অফ লাক ফর দ্য রেস্ট অফ দ্য টুর্নামেন্ট। হ্যাঁ, একটু যদি আমরা থাকি একসাথে, এরপর অবশ্যই আমরা উইনিং ক্যাপ্টেন মিস্টার টিপু সুলতান মাহমুদকে আমন্ত্রণ জানাচ্ছি। পৃথিবীটা গোল, যেখান থেকে শুরু করি একটা সেন্টারের দিকেই আসবো। আপনার কি কখনো মনে হচ্ছিল 85 রানে 9 উইকেট, তারপর 138-এ ফিরে আসলেন, আবার বোলিং এ প্রথম 10 ওভারে দে ওয়ার ইনটু দ্য গেম, তারপর আবার ফিরে আসলেন? মানে হোয়াট ডু ইউ থিঙ্ক, হোয়াট ওয়েন্ট থ্রু ইন ইউর মাইন্ডস?
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ আমরা ভেবেছিলাম ১০০ আগে অল আউট হয়ে যাবো কিন্তু আমাদের লাস্ট পার্টনারশিপটা খুব ভালো সার্ভাইভ করছে। খুব ভালো ব্যাটিং করেছে দুজনে। যার কারণে তাদের ৩৫ থেকে ৪০ রানের পার্টনারশিপে আমাদের একটা মোটামুটি একটা স্কোর দাঁড় করানো। আর সেকেন্ড ইনিংস হচ্ছে আমরা খুব একটা আশা করেছি তা না। তবে আমাদের বোলাররা ভালো করেছে। সেখান থেকে হয়তোবা আমরা ব্যাক করতে পেরেছি ইনশাআল্লাহ আলহামদুলিল্লাহ।
85 রানে 9 উইকেট পড়ে যাওয়ার পরে বল হাতে প্রথমে কিন্তু আপনি নিজে দায়িত্বটা তুলে নিয়েছিলেন। কংগ্রেচুলেশনস টু ইউ অ্যাজ ওয়েল। এবং ওই সময়টাকে আপনার মনে হয় যে সেখান থেকে যখন 138 এ গেলেন ডেফিনেটলি টিমের কনফিডেন্স অনেক বেশি বুস্ট হয়েছিল?
আমাদের প্ল্যান ছিল প্রথম ১০টা ওভার আমরা কন্ট্রোলে রাখার চেষ্টা করব সবকিছু। রান রেট থেকে শুরু করে উইকেট সবকিছুই। কতটুকু পেরেছি যাই হোক যতটুকু পেরেছি আলহামদুলিল্লাহ। বাট ১০ ওভারের পরে বোলাররা যে ব্যাক করতে পেরেছে খুব ভালোভাবে সেখানেই আমরা ম্যাচটাতে ফিরে আসতে পারছি আরকি।
এবং দিন শেষে জয়টা তুলে নিতে পেরেছেন, সেটাই সবচেয়ে বড় ইম্পর্টেন্ট ব্যাপার। এখনো লম্বা টুর্নামেন্ট, সামনে অনেকগুলো ম্যাচ বাকি রয়েছে। হোয়াট আর দ্য প্ল্যানস অ্যাহেড?
আজকের ম্যাচের ভুলত্রুটি থেকে নিশ্চয়ই নেক্সট ম্যাচগুলোতে ভুলত্রুটির সংখ্যা কমিয়ে আরো ভালো কিছু করার চেষ্টা করব ইনশাআল্লাহ। এটাই প্ল্যান থাকবে আপাতত।
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ অ্যান্ড অফ কোর্স অল দ্য বেস্ট ফর দ্য রেস্ট অফ দ্য টুর্নামেন্ট। আমি দুই ক্যাপ্টেনকে একটু আমার বাম দিকে চলে আসতে বলবো এবং সেই সাথে আমন্ত্রণ জানাবো আজকের প্লেয়ার অফ দ্য ম্যাচের জন্য। আজকের প্লেয়ার অফ দ্য ম্যাচ যিনি হয়েছেন তিনি ব্যাট এবং বল দুটো হাতেই সমানভাবে সমান গুরুত্বপূর্ণ অবদান রেখেছেন এবং গাজী সোহাগ, আপনাকে ডেকে নিচ্ছি ফর আওয়ার প্লেয়ার অফ দ্য ম্যাচ টুডে, যিনি দুই অধিনায়কের কাছ থেকে তার ক্যাশ প্রাইজটা নেবেন, যেটির স্পন্সর এসপিজেড গ্র্যান্ড অ্যাগ্রো, এবং অবশ্যই প্লেয়ার অফ দ্য ম্যাচের ট্রফি স্পন্সর্ড বাই 10-12 স্পোর্টস। কংগ্রাচুলেশনস গাজী সোহাগ। ফটো সেশন হয়ে গেলে একটু যদি আমরা কথা বলতে পারি। ও আচ্ছা, এখনো ফটো সেশন শেষ হয়নি, সো উই আর ওয়েটিং। এসপিজেড গ্র্যান্ড অ্যাগ্রো sponsored player of the match cash reward handed over to the player of the match today. গাজী সোহাগ, একটু যদি আমরা কথা বলি, এখন 11 নম্বরে ব্যাট করতে নেমেছেন আর আপনি হয়ে গেছেন টিমের টপ স্কোরার। ক্যাপ্টেনকে বলতেই পারেন যে আমি নেক্সট ম্যাচে আগে ব্যাট করব।
না, আমার একটা ইচ্ছে ছিল যে আমি খেলাটা একটু দৌড়া একটু স্কোরটা বড় করবো, যেহেতু স্কোরটা কম ছিল। তো ইনশাল্লাহ আমি আমার যে আশা ছিল ওই আশা মোতাবেক কাজ করতে পারছি। তো এটাই আমার কাছে ভালো লাগছে আর কি।
এবং মূল যে কাজ বল হাতে, সেখানেও কিন্তু মাশাআল্লাহ আপনি বেশ সাকসেস পেয়েছেন। তো এই যে ব্যাট এবং বল হাতে আপনি সাকসেস পেয়েছেন, সেই ক্ষেত্রে আপনার জন্য নিশ্চয়ই টুর্নামেন্টের সামনের ম্যাচগুলোতে অনেক বেশি আত্মবিশ্বাসী করে তুলবে আপনাকে।
জি জি ইনশাল্লাহ।
তো কি মনে হয় এভাবেই আপনি যদি পারফর্ম করতে পারেন, এইরকম প্লেয়ার অফ দ্য ম্যাচ অ্যাওয়ার্ড নিতে নিতে একসময় প্লেয়ার অফ দ্য টুর্নামেন্টটা চাইবেন নিশ্চয়ই?
ইনশাল্লাহ আমার আশা থাকবে, যেহেতু ভালো হচ্ছে এই ভালোটাই রাখা, মানে চেষ্টা করবো যেন ভালো করতে পারি সবগুলো ম্যাচে।
Okay, Swag, thank you so much for talking to us and congratulations once again. So that's it from the first game post match presentation. আজকে আমাদের আরো একটা ম্যাচ বাকি রয়েছে এবং আপনারা কিন্তু কোথাও যাবেন না। The champions will be on display. BMC versus Dhaka Nawabs next up.